Yo, Flurfs! I hope you're all doing well. Yeah, it's good to see you guys. Sorry that I've set up so late, but yeah, the power came on late and I just couldn't get anything set up because I'm having problems with my generator. Last night, it just didn't want to come on. Eventually, I said, okay, let me get a new spark plug. So I did. I got a proper spark plug. Now, it went on, but it just seems to get bogged down and doesn't want to run the computer. So I'm going to check that tomorrow. I think it might be maybe have gunk or something that the air doesn't get enough air. So I think that it's just too much fuel being pushed through. But anyway, I have the thing set up and we are here tonight. I think we're going to have a good show. I really hope so. We got Michael Kahn and we got PJ Cruikshank in the house. How you guys doing?
Oh, good. Oh, good.
It's good. I appreciate you being here tonight, Michael, because I
really didn't want to be.
Yeah. Yeah, and I understand. So if you do drop out, I know why. Because this is something that's going to trigger a lot of people. Just seeing the guy's face actually is triggering sometimes.
I heard enough. I had about 20 minutes on Nathan's today, and that's enough.
Like say, I put it on. It's nearly 5 hours long. I'd probably seen about 2-ish hours of it. The rest of it kind of fell asleep through or drifted off at. They seem really friendly in it. They seem friendly in it. Getting on with each other. It's. I'll let you watch it. I'm not going to say anything.
Okay, guys, I haven't watched it at all. Okay. Yeah. But I was told now should maybe start at around 29 minutes with the video.
Yeah.
Because nothing really happened before then. The reason I think why it's important to show tonight this video and go through it is because apparently they were talking about celestial navigation. And as we know, Jeranism is a real ignorant when it comes to celestial navigation, because the idiot doesn't want to actually learn when someone tries to explain things to him. So he goes and he'll learn to an actual moron on the subject, Mctoon. Because Mctoon's the same guy that says there's no triangles when you do triangulation for celestial navigation, as we all know. While we show him citation of the citation, triangulation in celestial navigation. Well, anyway, so I think it will be very interesting to see what comes up, because as you guys said, it was pathetic. Jeranism not understanding anything and trying to get his advice from Mctoon.
Yeah.
Which is bad, in other words. So I think, we have to go through it and we have to review this and then show once again why everybody should stay away from the acting flat earther called Jeranism.
If you just start video and skip past where the duck conflict, I'm not sure where they actually start.
Yeah, you said around 29 minutes.
I know I said that, but I'm not sure if they start talking about it a bit before that, so I just check.
Yeah, and there's definitely a bit of sound.
I don't want you to miss any on it, from where they start talking about it.
Yeah, and there's a bit of sound problem to start off with. He has to turn off his mixer and back on, and it's fixed. So I think that takes about after the intro, because it's a long intro, like 4 or 5 minutes intro, isn't it? Countdown in that, so it will be probably about that time, Michael, probably.
But we'll try and look through when the dudes start talking about it, and then we can go on from there. But yeah, I think it's really important because people have to see Jaren for who he really is. The sad thing is, a lot of people still defend his nonsense. And yeah, he's a scammer, guys.
Yeah.
Straight out. I've shown with live streams before, if you haven't checked it out, the Skype messages from him, and it exposes him for who he really is. The guy is not genuine.
No, I liked it when he was going to have a penis sizing competition with Jaren. That was ridiculous, wasn't it?
Yeah. See, the problem with Jaren is he preys on gullible people. He preys on gullible people to try and look like some good guy. In the meantime, he's literally just planted in air feed to make us look bad. That's what I still say. Because, sorry, the guy is, I'm outright saying it, he's not a flat earther, guys. He acts as a flat earther. He's just an infiltrator. And I'm going to keep with that. because no one can be deliberately no one can be this dumb and dishonest. It's deliberate what he's doing, so it's sad. But anyway, let's get to saying hello to everybody. It's good to see you guys. Jeff Cassett, thank you for coming. Pure Medicine, glad you could make it. Richard G, Taylor Vision, it's great to see you, Spuddy. Glad you could make it. Space Miner, thank you for coming. If you guys haven't already, please do hit the share button and hit the like, as it does help to give the show to a wider audience. But it's good to have you guys here. Okay, so it's 9 minutes in, we got 20 votes. Jaren is an embarrassment to flat earth. 80% say yes, no 20%. I'm going to say yes, he's an embarrassment. Hey Jim Smith, hey Paula, thank you for coming. Glad you could make it.
There's a link in the chat if anybody wants to come in.
Yeah, there's a link. If any of you do feel you want to come in and just give your thoughts on this whole situation and talk about it, please feel free to come in. Definitely looking forward. And speaking of tomorrow night's going to be me versus Oren, the proper date now, correct? So yeah, we're gonna do Oren Armstrong tomorrow night with the debate we were supposed to have last week that I got the date wrong, and so yeah, it's tomorrow apparently.
I only just noticed that you changed the name of that last week's show to sorry, I can't remember. Changed it.
I got the date wrong. Exactly. Yeah, but it's very plain and simple. We'll see what happens, how it's going to work, and all that. Very interesting stuff. Okay. So, you say we should go from the beginning, though?
Just keep skipping through it, just to check.
I'll just
you'll have sound problems for about 10 minutes, I think.
Okay, I'm gonna go from 7 where he just says hi to him and stuff, and then we take it from there. Is that right? Yes, Jim Smith. Triangulation uses trigonometry. Well done, Sakatoa. Just like triangulation based with celestial navigation. Yes.
You're not using trig though in celestial navigation.
You do. When you use triangulation, you do use Sakatoa.
Then you'll get ballast telling you cannot height at star.
But that's the issue. They take that apparent altitude angle and they call it physical height, which it isn't. Remember, it's to get the distance relationship to the parent altitude angle. They ignore this and they think it gives a physical height.
You're not using trig in that sense.
No, triangle is trig. Definitely. The only problem is they take the parent altitude angle measurement and call it physical. That's the issue here. And even if they do that, they actually throw their globe away without realizing it, because you cannot have a curved adjacent using a 90-degree triangle. Okay, let's start this up, because we're probably going to get into that anyway.
So
what did I just see that Mctoon's got an earring?
Yes, his daughter just put it in for him. Apparently he's had it pierced all these years, but she just put it in because the hole was still there.
Looks like he's going for falling down, look.
Okay. Can we say maybe midlife crisis?
Yeah, maybe. I've always had earrings on, so.
Hey Black Guys, good to see you. Thank you for coming. Oh wow.
there it is. Let's see here. Here we have. I'll show you. There he is there, and he's we're coming up on the time, so. All right, my 2 cents is
What is wrong with the sound? I'm not used to Mctoon's sound so bad. That's a bit weird.
2 cents is Gary Wybenga. So nobody. There you go, Clive Wells. You got him.
He mentions that Gary Wybenga is now a member of his channel, but he got one of them gift ones. You know what I mean? So I think he was got that enmity between us then by mentioning it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he's proud to have Gary as a member.
Yeah, of course, you're right.
gotta time him out. That's the rule. Sorry, Gary. I just make the rules. So all right. I'm gonna pop into Jaren here, see how it's going.
Can't hear Jeran at all.
I hear a little clipping. There's some people. There's some sort of audio something with Jaren. He fixed something, but it was still a little weird.
Okay.
Still weird beyond.
Okay, I thought we were gonna see. Okay, let's get to where they actually start talking about stuff. I hope so. Maybe here.
I'm glad you see it that way.
Really?
That's when he said.
No, you're gonna have to. You're gonna have to skip
Get a bit
further.
further, yeah.
Thanks.
And I don't have one either
Is
much
that-
other than I really do have this dream of conversating with some globers to a certain extent and getting some ideas across and getting a better idea of their their beliefs. But also sometimes maybe that's not going to work when we're just at like a impasse or where people are being too stubborn or won't concede points. So we'll see if that goes that direction tonight, or if we can do this again. We will find out, I think, soon enough. So what did I see? The complaints and the arguments about last time, people saying that I didn't put your feet to the fire as far as the
This'll do.
observation of the ISS going across the moon. And
Yeah, no, that wasn't the argument. The argument was you didn't call him out on using flat baselines for his measurements. In other words, he used a flat Earth to make his measurement, and he threw his globe away, even by stating straight through, you wouldn't need the curve to get the measurement. In other words, you measured the altitude to the so-called ISS using a flat Earth, because you can't use the globe to do so. That was the argument. And Jaren, being this brilliant super flurf, as he says, should have known this, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's weird how we keep on having to correct the Globebusters team on everything. If they the so-called super duper flat earthers that everybody's supposed to be looking up to, then why is it that we keep on having to educate our own side, the so-called super flat earthers, on arguments that they're supposed to know by now?
Because their true earth ain't that true.
Exactly. They literally acting, guys. They're acting as the authority for flat earth. And it's sad because they don't know a cooking thing about what they talk about, because all they talk about is nonsense. They push their own agendas on the rest of flat earth and thinking that we wouldn't realize it. They're as good as the Globers. That's all they are. Like I said, they're Globers with flat earth shirts on.
Yeah.
And I'm calling Jeran out again. Jeran, maybe you should come and talk to us people instead of running away. Instead of going to people like Mctoon and talking to him and the rest of the Globers and just conceding to everything they say even though it's wrong. How's that? But yeah, it's good to see you guys. Thanks for coming. Awesome clips. Great to have you in. Thank you for coming. Glad you could make it. Yeah, you will know when they're by their fruits. Jeremy is not shy when he displays his hatred for God and Jesus Christ. Yes, he is an antichrist. 100% agree. He's not shy at all to show his disdain for God. And what is his excuse? Oh, I used to be a Catholic. Well, boo-hoo. That doesn't mean you were a Christian. That doesn't mean you were God-fearing. It just means you are hiding behind your religious viewings. Because, yeah, you get religious people, guys. Doesn't make them God-fearing people. It just means they are religious. Just like people go to church and call themselves a Christian, it doesn't make them a Christian. They just go to church and they are religious. They're like the Pharisees, what they call in the Bible. They're there to care what people think about them, which is sad. Okay, let's carry on.
The measurements taken by the two people, and they said you didn't hang them on the fact that they did it from a flat baseline, therefore you can only do celestial navigation on a flat Earth. Let me just start with this point, and hopefully people get it.
Yo, Jeff, how's it going, mate? Good to see you. Glad you could make it.
We're just pretending for a second that we live on a globe. Okay?
Why?
Pretending for a second that we live
I
on a
don't
globe.
have to pretend, but yeah, go
Okay,
ahead.
so you can just keep your
Why?
same beliefs. I'll pretend.
Why is he now begging the question for living on the globe? He's supposed to say, yes, you can only do it on a flat Earth because you only require your angles based on a flat Earth. The principle of a sextant requires a flat Earth. It works with an succession angles, as we put it. Correct? Angles of succession. That means you need an angle to be in succession with another angle, and they both require 90-degree angles. They have to be parallel with one another. Flat all the way. The sextant wouldn't work if you weren't on a flat horizontal baseline surface. Anything you guys want to add?
I'm just looking at this idiot in chat.
Jim Smith. Ignore the troll. The guy thinks there's no 90-degree angles in celestial navigation.
He also thinks you can have a curved radii.
What? A radius is a straight line. Show me a curved radius, please. What the hell? You don't have such thing as a curved radius.
And if you ain't got 90 degrees, what are you minusing your altitude from?
Okay, let's show him quickly what a radius is. You see, this is a circle, okay? You're taking from the center, that's a radius. You see that line? The distance from the center to the circumference, that's a radius. You don't have a curved radius. What the hell? Wow, what a start. Okay.
Could we use the GP of a star and its location from us to get a circle on a globe? Meaning, can
Hey, Buzz Aldrink, thank you for coming. He says, Jaren isn't an embarrassment, man. He's helped to open my eyes years ago. I'd be a jerk not to stick up for him. I would agree he has brought some people to a flat Earth, not doubting that. The problem is he brings the people to the wrong conclusion of flat Earth. And the people end up learning total bullshit. That's the problem. And then it means your foundations on flat Earth is false, and you end up becoming a glober again, or you just stay a globe earther with a flat Earth t-shirt on, in other words, because he does teach it wrong. And
There's literally on this video debunking trying to suggest that one of the best flat Earth demolishers works on a globe.
yeah,
I mean, wow.
yeah, exactly. Hey, don't shoot the messenger. Good to see you. And dang, thanks for coming, mate. Glad you can make it. Yeah, Jim Smith says you guys are so uninformed. Okay, yeah, we uninformed because you think a radius curves. Good for you. I challenge you to go to any mathematician and tell them how your radius curves. Please go ahead. And maybe take a video while you're doing it so we can see how they laugh you out the room.
and we take the angle to a star and its GP location and get the distance from that GP, draw a circle, do that.
He's lied about a lot of things, Buzz. I've done live streams on him, showing Skype messages between himself and myself too. You might want to go watch those as well, showing the total deceit from this guy. He is very dishonest.
Do that 3 times, and then wherever the circle crosses, each one crosses identically, that is the spot where you're at. So I don't understand what they mean by you can only do it on a flat Earth, because you could do it if you lived on a globe.
There we go, what we're saying. This is supposed to be a flat earther. What did he just say? I don't understand how they mean you can only do one on a flat Earth. Jaren, what the hell? Yeah, what the hell, Jaren? I thought you're a flat earther.
It's basically gonna claim, I think, roundabouts claim that you can have like a curved side on a triangle.
Yeah, you can't. The adjacent cannot be curved. If you've got a curved adjacent, it's not an angle anymore. I actually had someone telling me today you can have a curved hypotenuse. It's all fine. It's like, okay, what the hell are you talking about? Hey, David Lee, into the break, good to see you. And Andy Slipley, good to see you. But yeah, Jaren, no. Celestial navigation can only be done using a flat Earth. Because why? The baseline cannot be curved. It's flat. Hence why even on the globe, they first measure it flat and then calculate it to the globe by moving it to the center of Earth, aka why we call it Hell's Angles. If you knew anything about the subject, you would know this. This is the issue I have with this guy. How long has we been talking about celestial navigation for, guys?
About 2 years or something, isn't it?
Yeah, about 2 years about.
2020.
Yeah, so 3 years almost. And Jaren hasn't got the chutzpah just to stand up and say, hey, let me actually look into what they're talking about. Correct? What has he been doing for the last 3 years?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Trying to get people to buy Bitcoin.
Yeah, that's what he tries to do. Hey, David, Rebel Nazarene, good to see you. And the Price of Adam, thank you for coming.
Correct?
Yeah, the geometry, that would be how you do celestial navigation on a globe. And
Okay,
it would
so I don't really understand the
it'd be a bit different if the Earth were flat. You'd have to have a different process.
Well, you could have the same process, but it's not going to work by the numbers that they give you because you're going to use the reduction tables and everything else, and you're going to get off what the true angle would be.
What? No, Jaren, you wouldn't get an angle on the globe. What the hell is he talking about? You don't get an angle on a globe. That is why they measure it flat and then calculate it to a globe. We've explained this many times. What is an elevation angle, Jaren? Why do they have to make the luminary touch the horizon? Kiss the horizon, as they like to say. Make it parallel to the horizon. Because it's flat, Jaren. Wow. I understand why you're saying, Michael, this is like triggering.
Yeah, I know.
I don't know how we're going to get anywhere if every second word this moron says something, he doesn't understand that it's not a globe. Note, guys, Jaren's a flat earther, apparently. He's supposed to be fighting for flat earth, and it looks like we're watching two globers talk here. Can you tell the difference between the two here about the globe yet? Because I certainly can't. Hey, SI Man, you rock. Thank you for coming. And Titan Long, also good to see you, mate.
But I guess where I can confuse is they're really pushing this real hard, right? They keep pushing this whole thing of if you're doing a flat baseline, then you must be on a flat Earth. But I don't think what they understood is you were talking about them being 1 kilometer apart, correct?
Yes.
Okay, which is
I think
0.6.
it's 1.1 or something, yeah.
Okay, which is like 0.6 miles. So if you look at the curvature involved in that, it's like 4 inches. Okay?
Yeah.
So I don't really understand what they're getting at. So if I called you out and said, haha, you're using a curved baseline. Well, yeah, but the curve is 4 inches.
So in that same stupidity then, curve's only 400 foot, but it don't matter.
Actually, Okay. Okay, it's gonna be quite difficult to draw on paint, but I think I'm making the point here. Jaren, which one here is horizontal? The red line or the blue line? You guys? Which one is horizontal here?
Red line.
Red line. Okay, let's get an angle reading from the two. Okay. Can we get an angular reading from this? Yes, why? Because the angular separation will always stay the same. Can you get an angular reading from this bottom?
No.
No, because the angular separation is different right through.
Every point on that curved line.
So the bloody moron says because it's only 4 inches of curve, therefore it doesn't make a difference. A curved adjacent is not an angle. That is what you're supposed to say, you bloody moron. Let's all say it together. Jaren, you are a bloody imbecile.
You are a moron.
You are a moron. Wow. Hey Soundly, good to see you, mate. And Lord Racer, thank you for coming. So, again, Mr. Flat Earther, that's showing not to be a flat earther, Jaren. You cannot have an angle measurement if it is curving, even if it is 1 inch of curve or 0.00001% of curve. If it's not horizontal, it's not an angular measurement, because what's an angle? Let's do this. An angle is always 2 straight lines meeting at a vertex. Say it again with me. 2 straight lines. 2. Not singular, plural. Uno numero. Uno numero. Get it? It makes a angle. 2 straight lines. Should we get the definition up on screen for this moron as well? Because it seems this so-called flat earther doesn't know what an angle is. Does that sound right? Definition of angle. There we go. A space usually measured in degrees between 2 intersecting lines or surfaces at a close to the point where they meet. In any triangle, the longer side is opposite to the largest angle. Spring-loaded hinges open the doors at any angle up to 90 degrees. A particular way of approaching this, considering an issue problem, discussing the problems, every concept angle. Okay, that's astrology. Direct or incline at an angle. The angle is chair, so they could watch her. Okay, what's an angle, guys?
2 straight lines meeting at a vertex.
There we go. In Euclidean geometry, an angle is the figure formed by 2 rays called the sides of the angle sharing a common endpoint called the vertex of the angles. Angle formed by 2 rays are known as an angle. You see those 2 straight lines there? That angular arc measurement there, that arc you're getting there, is because of the opening is staying the same between the 2 straight lines. Something you should have learnt in primary school. Okay? Wow. Pathetic. Pathetic. So far the opening, we can't even really get to anything because this guy has opened with, I don't understand why they say you only can do it on a flat earth. I don't understand that why they're moaning that a curved baseline can't give you an angle.
Why would you go to tone with that though? Why would you not ask the flat earthers who are saying that?
Yeah, exactly. If you don't understand, Jaren, because you're a moron, why are you going to the people that would say it is a curve? Because they want it to be a curve, because they need it to be a curve, because of the idiotic belief system, the one you're supposed to be going against. No, if you don't understand, you go to the people that can actually tell you, listen here, look, we're explaining it to you, not that we need to, because you're supposed to know this shit. you go to your so-called opposition and you ask, oh, is this true? What the hell is wrong with this guy? I'm sorry, but yes, he is an embarrassment. Through and through. And I'm calling Jaren out here. Jaren, if you want a class on what an angle is, let me know. Okay, I will give you the numbers for some grade 1 teachers. How's that sound? Because they teach you what an angle is in grade 1.
And Mctoon made a point of saying he wasn't going to use the curvature in that formula, or in that description of that observation.
Now, for reference, those people that say, you used a flat baseline, they definitely could go do the geometry using a curved baseline as well.
False, Mctoon. You even said so in that own video. You do it flat, and then you calculate it to a globe, correct? And then when you guys calculated for globe, you said, it's such a minuscule difference that you don't need to do it that way. But the issue is, you measured it doing something based on what? A horizontal baseline. A horizontal baseline, okay? You understand that, Mctoon? If it's horizontal, it's horizontal. And the fact that you conceded, even if you had to calculate your globe into it, the difference would be so little that you then can't moan and say, oh, it can't work on a flat earth, because you conceded that it was measured flat and you got it very close to what you call your globe calculations. Ooh. Jaren, a truth over. No, Jaren is a glober, acting as a flat earther, guys. That's what he's doing. Hey, I will not take the jab. Good to see you, mate.
For that 1.11 kilometers, and then get the numbers, and what you will find is that you won't actually have a difference in the elevation of the ISS that you measure. And Reds and Astronomy Live did a second transit parallax measurement, and in that one, in the video, they went through the process using a curved baseline.
Sorry, a chord is not a curved baseline, you idiot. A chord is a straight line, Mr. Mctoon. Correct? Should we draw what a chord is now? Wow. This is how dishonest these twats are. And Jaren's still not going to call him out for this, correct? Let's say this is their globe. And now they're making their parallax measurements. Okay? This is an angle. Well done, 2 straight lines. This is not an angle. This is not an angle, but they have to make an angle, correct? So they make a chord through the Earth surface. So they literally ignore this to get their angle measurements. That chord is not a curved baseline, Mctoon. So don't come and lie to everybody. A chord is a straight line. Yeah. Your calculations and your measurements are based on a flat Earth, Mctoon. Hey, Sovereign Soul, glad to have you here, mate. Oh, this is quite triggering. Sorry, guys. Because it's the first time I'm watching this. High-tech software, Paintzoid.
So the people that are like, you can't use a flat baseline, well, you can go look at the curved baseline and use the curved baseline. Now, you know what?
Okay. You can use a curved baseline. Let's see. Can a baseline be curved for an angle? See, you can get curves. There we go. The arc is the curve, but what's the angle here? Why is it doing this? I want to go to the actual Wiki. Ooh. Hey, Yannick Dessinger, good to see you, mate. The degree of curvature defined as the central angle. Do you see what they're showing here, guys? Would that be a straight... What's that? A radius angle to the arc. The ends at the agreed length of either an arc or a chord. Oh shit. A chord then. Mctoon, what's that? That's a chord. David Lee said he's not lying, Flatzoid. Toon is stating facts. I'm showing on screen that Toon is talking shit. I'm showing it on screen now. Or
The very fact that David's defending Toon tells me David's as thick as Toon.
Yeah. It's a straight line. You don't get a curved baseline. Okay? An angle requires a horizontal baseline. You don't get curved adjacent angles. It doesn't exist. Okay.
This is mental gymnastics you have to do to think you live on a ball. It's ridiculous.
There we go. You see? What's that? It's an angle. This is the angle, guys. This arc is your curve. That's why you got a chord, a flat baseline going through. Very simple stuff. And David C says, no, you're not, Flatzoid. Oh, shame. Go somewhere else go talk to someone else that really cares about you being just sticking your fingers in your ears and going la 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 la. Okay. We can't help you if you don't understand an angle is two straight lines and a chord is a straight line.
You know what they would have said if we used curve?
Not a protractor has a flat bottom.
Yeah, let's actually do this. Let's show them protractor. Exactly, that's the point. Protractor. Maybe they've never seen a protractor before? Who knows? You see, that's a protractor, guys. What's that 180 degree? It's a straight line. That's your baseline. The arc measurement is what you are measuring off of that horizontal baseline. This would be the adjacent. You cannot have a curved adjacent or you wouldn't have an angular reading. Okay? David Lee says, dude, again, what do 2 points make? A vertex. The 2 points have to have a line, a straight line. Yeah. Got a point. Oh, gotta make it thicker. We got a point, and we got a point, for instance. Okay? Actually, that's not gonna work like that. Let's do it this way. What's the angle of this, guys? Has anybody got an idea what's this angle? That'll be 0 degrees, correct?
Yeah.
Okay, now when you do this, what's the angle now? 180 degrees. Because you got 90 and 90. It's the angle separation. It's a vertex with two straight lines. So that's what's a 0 and a 180. Now, when you add this, it's a 90 degrees. Now when you do this, 45 degrees. What have they all got in common now? What have they all got in common? I know. They all are straight lined angle measurements. Yes, David, the vertex is 1 point. But the 2 points, aka point and point, meet up to make an angular measurement at a vertex. Those 2 points require 2 straight lines meeting up at 1 point, a vertex, to make an angular measurement.
Is David trying to say that one line's an angle?
No, he's trying to say 2 points means an angle that you do not need a straight line. He's trying to throw away what angle means.
Well, it needs to bring citations saying that then.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly.
Bring
Angle,
citation, David, please.
angle of elevation. Hey, good to see you. Yeah. They're trying to make up their own geometry, guys.
Of course they are.
They're
Yeah.
redefining words, just like they redefine what level means. They want to redefine what angle means because it doesn't fit their narrative.
Paula keeps posting a link. I don't know if she's wanting you to show it.
Let's quickly check. Ah, thank you very much. All this
there you
shows. The segment. That would be a chord, a tangent, straight line. Everything seems to have straight lines, correct? Weird how that works. Straight lines make an angle, guys. Thank you very much, Paula. Oh, where were we? Oh, yeah, on this one.
Baseline, if I'd used that one last time, they would have said, you can't presume. Right? And then I'd be like, oh, well then you can go to look at the flat baseline. So you can use either one, and what happens is that it is just a part of the error that it introduces to it, but the error will be so many digits deep that it's not going to make a difference.
Yeah, so this is once again, Mctoon conceding that we measure it on a flat earth and we don't need to take the curve into account because it's so minimum that we don't need to do it. Instead of saying, oh, the reason you're conceding this is because it's done on a flat earth, not because it's done using a curved baseline. That's what Jeran's supposed to say. This is the reason why Jaren doesn't come talk to us, because he gets ripped out at shreds just when he opens his mouth every time he just thinks. Again, David Lee, one straight line is the line of sight from your eye to the celestial object. The other straight line is the line of sight from your eye to the point of the horizon you're shooting. Wow, an elevation angle. Notice how David Lee said two straight lines, people. So not a curved baseline, David Lee. Wow.
I can't see it making a difference. And if I'm wrong about that, then they can show that. They can show, well, look at here, this is the difference, and you'd be off by this much. I mean,
okay, I'll tell you what the difference is. The one's a bloody angle, the one isn't. That's the difference. Hello? One, you get an angular reading. The other one is not an angle, so you don't get an angular reading. Wake up. Did you drink your coffee? Did you wake up yet? Hey Gary Wybenga, good to see you. Regular trigonometry only works if you have the direct line of sight to both the star and the ground GP and know the distance from your GP to the star's GP. It's the only way to get the 90-degree angle. Welcome to Flat Earth. Exactly, Gary. David Lee. Exactly, no one is using a curved baseline.
What?
Then why the hell was he fighting for a curved baseline all this time? What the hell?
What a plonker.
He's been telling me I'm wrong all this time, and now he exactly agrees with me. What?
I think you're off more in the fact that 1 degree is 60 miles, 60 nautical miles. So
not 60 nautical miles. 69 miles and 60 nautical miles, yeah. But he said 60 miles, correct? But anyway, yeah. It doesn't really matter because it's just the measurement that nautical mile. That nautical mile measurement. What's his name? Jeran, is this arc measurement. That's why you need it to be the same, because this angle is the same angle here. They're both the same. Why? Because the separation is the same. If you have a curved baseline, you can't have the same angle here as the same angle there. Nowhere will be the same angle, because you have two have different points. Okay, this is very triggering. Sorry, guys.
It's mad, and I did say, Michael did say as well.
A Raymond now saying, Raymond says, curved baseline is just a straw man by flat earthers.
Define straw man.
Baseline is a straw man by flat earthers.
How can it be a straw man by flat earthers if that is what you are fighting for on your globe, Ramondo?
Right.
You're literally fighting for a curved baseline.
I'll say it again. Define straw man.
To me, that alone, I mean, you're not going to get within 1 degree of your estimation of how what angle a star's at. You might be able to get within, a couple degrees, but if you're off by just 1 degree, you're 60 miles off.
When you're measuring with the sextant.
Yeah,
I mean, the ISS one, they weren't using a sextant; they were using a telescope.
right. He just looked at his telescope and said it was 56 or something.
Well, with celestial navigation, the reality is that people are within 5 miles of their actual location pretty commonly.
Yeah, using a flat earth to make the measurement.
What else do they use besides a flat earth? Flatzoid?
Hey Neil, how's it going?
Use a flat earth. They'll never get their measurements without a flat earth. You can't get angles off a globe, can you?
Nope. and that's what I've been doing this whole time so far, is trying to not educate Mctoon because he knows this. Trying to educate Jaren what an angle is. This is how embarrassing it is.
Yeah, it's very embarrassing, but please don't take the road Nathan's taking, trying to equip him and educate him. Although in the end, I agreed, but then when I heard that bull crap when he says at the end what he says, I'm not going to blow it if you didn't hear it yet, but these are fighting words, what he says, and that's it.
How you doing, Neil, anyway?
Hey.
DJ.
Yeah.
Oh, good.
Flat Earth Warriors, hey, good to see you. Brianna Johnson, good to see you. She's been a member for 4 months. Wow, really awesome. Thank you very much. She says, on Tuesdays, everyone needs to join Michael Kahn. I 100% concur.
Doesn't have to feel as stupid.
I really do concur, guys. Do join Michael's streams on Tuesdays.
It's weird.
No, man,
I joined Michael Kahn, but there was a very serious situation going on Quantum Races this Tuesday. I couldn't get away. I'll be there this Tuesday.
I was there.
Awesome Lawson clips. I do have the streams on my channel with RV. I would actually like to talk to RV again. Let's actually see if I can find. Yeah, guys, please let RV know. It would be great to have him on to chat again. Oh, not Mctoon.
Yeah, Michael, I think on a Tuesday, you listen, as a presenter, you do all right. You do brilliant.
It feels weird. It's better if there's people to talk to.
Well, I'm there to talk to.
I know.
Well, Michael, listen, Michael, when nobody's there, you just continue talking.
Just talk.
Your knowledge on flat Earth. You kidding me?
Well, Michael, you can always just put a mirror in front of yourself if that can make you feel better. Then it feels like you're talking.
Well, wait a second. Even better still, Michael, what you do is you talk about everybody that doesn't show up. Rip them apart.
I'll talk about you then, Neil, yeah?
Yeah, rip me apart. Rip me to shreds.
Okay, there we go. Here's the one stream. You can start off going off from there for awesome Lawson clips. There we go. Yeah, RV's awesome. Really got nothing against RV. Okay. Yeah, and by the way, Regitoric is still running away from me. What a sad situation. Sad situation. Okay, TB, good to see you. Thank you for coming. Okay, so let's get back onto this cluster nonsense. The problem is, Neil, you say we're not supposed to educate Jaren. The thing is, we have to educate Jaren so people will see what nonsense the guy spews. Unfortunately, it's part of correcting him, is educating him on something you learn in grade 1. It's sad.
So how close do you have to be then to your angle to be within 5 miles?
A 1 degree is 60 nautical miles. 1 arc minute is 1 nautical mile.
Yeah. Let's quickly go look at a sextant, shall we? And then we say why it's an arc minute. Because I've tried to explain this many times why. Maybe this one will work better. You see this, guys? This arc. Whoop. This arc, this 0 to the 120 degrees here. Okay? That's an arc. You got this index arm that moves across this arc. That is why you get an arc reading. Why? Because of the angles in succession. What are the angles in succession? You got the telescope angle that reads through the one, that works on this arm being parallel to the other angle, which is the horizon. So when you got the arc, now let's draw this out quickly. Let's first draw the horizon out. What's an horizon, by the way, guys?
Where the sky and the ground apparently meet.
Yeah, appear to me.
It's
correct.
it's a what do you call it? It's an optical phenomenon. That's what it is.
It is.
Yeah, it's an optical phenomenon, exactly. It's just an apparent position. But the horizon is the horizontal baseline. And for the celestial navigation, you are using what? The surface of the Earth, correct? So
Do you remember when I got ChatGPT to admit this?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yes, Flatzoid, you're supposed to use the surface of the Earth. So if the
Exactly.
surface of the Earth is spherical, then there's a problem.
Exactly. So, how am I going to draw? Okay, let's just say that's the arc. Now you got your so your telescope there. What angle does the telescope look at? That's the angle the telescope looks at, okay? You got your index arm, which moves along this arc. This is 120 degrees and a 0 degree. It moves along the arc, this. Then you got your index mirrors. You got the 1 index mirrors and you got the 1 index mirrors. You require, for the sextant to work, you require this index mirror angle to be in succession with this angle mirror. So they have to meet up. So it creates the one angle, the second angle, and the third. So it's in succession. This needs to be parallel with that, which needs to be parallel with the horizon to work. That's why you have to bring your so-called celestial object down to the horizon. So when you bring it down to the horizon to kiss it, and you sway the sextant left and right, so it touches, it makes this curve. That's what it is, making this curve. So
Yeah, you rock the sextant, right?
You rock your sextant, so it's making that curve on the horizon. So you are parallel. That means you're perfectly vertical,
Yep.
which gives you a 90 degrees. So, if the luminary has a GP and you have your GP, you are 90 degrees, and you make a measurement, okay? Your measurement, now let's say that's a 90, was, let's say, 45 degrees, just for Pete's sake. Please don't say that is, I'm just saying for rough estimate. 45 degree angle. You're working out your co-altitude angle. Your co-altitude angle will help you determine your distance from the GP. So that would be this distance because of your co-altitude angle. That's why you times it by the 60 nautical miles to get this. So what we do is we take, I've been through this so many times, 90 degrees, because that was your baseline, minus your angular reading, which is 45 degrees, which will equal your co-altitude angle, which would be 45 degrees, okay? And you times that by 60 nautical miles to get your distance. You understand? And that's how you know your distance across a flat surface based on a flat baseline. You guys get that yet? Yeah. And what did I show you? Angle upon angle upon angle, that all requires a flat baseline. And yes, guys, I'm going to definitely be doing a full stream on celestial navigation to explain this to the morons, because this is so simple. It's insanely idiotic for anybody to think it's done on a curved surface. Okay, did that make sense?
Absolutely.
Yep. There we go.
And a sextant measures in typically tenths of a minute, so that'd be less than, it'd be a tenth of a nautical mile, right?
Yeah, I'd have to see that. I mean,
and so that's the precision that it's able to do. Now, whether or not somebody is actually getting it that good is that's up to the operator,
right.
And a higher quality sextant versus a lower quality sextant can make that difference too.
Yeah, that's why it has to be as accurate as possible. That's why you have height of eye correction. What is height of eye correction, guys?
Height of the eye above the sea.
Yeah, exactly, because you are on a boat, and a boat is usually above the horizon, above the water.
You have to bring your eyeballs down to the sea.
Exactly.
Yeah, because you need a 90 at your zenith as well as at GP, so if you're taking it from 10 foot above ocean, you haven't got 90 degrees.
Yeah.
We gotta minus that 10 foot, right, Michael?
Exactly. To make it more accurate, you need to bring your eyes down to make the perfect 90 degree angle baseline. Because at the moment, you're above the water, so you have to bring yourself down to the ocean. Okay?
Unless you're on a rubber ducky.
But that's why you usually get the corrections, usually like from 2 meters or whatever, because if you even go to the nautical almanacs, they usually have -1 or -2 or -3 based on your height, because it's height of eye correction. That's why when they say, oh, but look, it's dip correction, it means a curve. No, that dip is height of eye. You are literally calculating your eyes to the surface so you can have a more accurate reading. That's why, because your eyes aren't embedded in the water.
Yeah, I've remembered Brian say a few times, they have it all before they even take off from wherever they're docked. To have all the calculations, because they know how high the ship is, they know how tall the person is that's going to be, you know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Looking through the sextant, if they're using a sextant.
Exactly. But like I said, the sextant can only work on a flat baseline. Without having a flat Earth, it's not going to work, because the principles of a sextant works. It works on what you call angles of succession. So
I've got a good link for you, and it's also got a video on it as well.
Where is it?
Posting it in Ellemnet.
Let me just quickly go to Ellemnet.
Yeah, see, the problem is Jaren didn't even read half the book.
Where did you... Don't see it.
It's in Ellemnet.
No, I'm in Ellemnet. It's not showing.
I just posted it now.
No, there's nothing. Nothing. Definitely not there.
Twice,
Oh.
3 times.
Sorry, it's not there. We'll wait for it.
Wrong with our Ellemnet then. You see it, PJ.
We closed it and open again. Nope, definitely not there, mate.
Can you see it, PJ?
Hey, Thomas Larson, good to see you, mate. Thank you for coming.
Might PJ answering.
I have no idea.
Wait, sorry, I was answering. I was on mute. I said for about 10 times now. See, 3 times. It's right under here, guys.
So there's something wrong with our element then, Flatzoid.
Sorry, I thought you had heard me. I was on. It's because I made a coffee. I was on mute.
Does it show?
I see it, Michael. I see it.
Yeah, it's that. Definitely 3
Wow.
times.
Post it in YouTube chat.
Yeah, posting YouTube chat might be easier because Element's not showing anything. Sorry. Hey LJ, yes, Jaren is an embarrassment to us, and we're explaining why he's an embarrassment. Thank you, Astrolabe.
That's it.
Raymondo Bradbury, we're talking about celestial navigation on ocean, mate.
It's
Don't use a
nautical.
below sextant.
Yeah, it's a nautical sextant. It means it's in the ocean.
Nice try though, pal.
Yeah. Okay, anyway, let's go through this a bit. Apologies for the delay between posts, whatever, okay. To summarize where we are so far regards to our celestial navigation studies, we have covered off the sextant and how it takes a reading, the measurement of time, the celestial sphere. Yeah, guys.
Straight down to a bit about dip. That was pointing posting it.
There we go, dip. Height of eye correction. If you are taking your sextant reading from a bridge of a big ship, then you are going to get a different sextant reading if you were a small yacht. Why? Because you get a different angular reading. Very minimal, but you do get a difference because your eyes are further away from your baseline. Therefore, we need to make a correction to what your sextant says to get your reading converted to sea level reading. Note your keyword, sea level. This is called dip, or an adjustment for your height of eye, not earth curve. Take a look at the table below, right hand side of the column called dip. I imagine that if you are standing up on the side of a small yacht when taking your sextant reading, you are likely to be about 3 meters above sea level. If you look down the table, you get 3 meters, and then look across the number beside you will see a 3.1. This is our dip figure, and it's always subtracted from the sextant reading. Why is it subtracted, guys? It's because it's subtracting your height from it's not bringing the ocean to your eyes, it's bringing you down to the ocean, sea level. There we go. This is the table, the almanac table, which they give you your correction. So usually, like, yeah, it's feet. There we go. So you would know your height of correction. I am 2-3 meters above. There we go. This is the reading correction I should be making. Get it?
There's also a good video as well.
Oh, we got it.
Mm-hmm.
Jaren don't got it.
Don't got it.
But this is my point with Jeran, though. Like I was saying earlier, we're speaking about this for almost 3 years now. Jeran is supposed to be the super flat earther that, you know, everybody's supposed to be looking up to. He's supposed to be like the guy. But the moron doesn't even know how this works. Where has he been? Hiding under a rock for 3 years. He doesn't know what the hell's going on.
Oh, that's a fact. And why do you think Mctoon's goes to him?
Yeah.
You think we'd show up here and talk about celestial navigation, or flat earth debate and talk about celestial navigation?
No.
Not a chance.
Never.
But I mean, that's the whole point. We've been talking about this for 3 years, and we've even been speaking to the Globusters team about this, haven't we?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but that's pride, Flatzoid. They're not going to use the arguments that we use. They're not. It's a pride thing, man.
Mm-hmm. So it's... Wow. It's sad.
But then he's going to go on a show and make an ass out of himself. So maybe this would be a wake-up call. What do you think?
I don't know.
Only hope.
It's starting to make me think like Jaren's just going to come out some of this, yeah, guys, sorry, it's not flat. You know what I mean? That's what I'm saying. Because he literally...
Oh my God, I was thinking the same thing today as QE was going over it. I said, you know, this guy, he's going to come out and admit that he's a baller.
He's doing the same. He's doing the same as Jake the asshole. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like it's like he's trying to prime his foothold into the Mctoon family. You know what I mean? He's just very cozy all of a sudden with him, and how he's trying to argue like, yeah, no, I understand it could be done on a globe. What the bloody hell are you talking about? It's not.
Exactly.
It can't be done on a globe.
Fucking moron.
He is a moron.
Hey, listen, what's the name of that? What's the name of it? What's the title on that video? A constructive conversation? How does it go?
I don't know. This just says Jaren, a discussion number 2.
Yeah, constructive or something like that. That's a direct slight to anybody on our side.
Mm-hmm.
They know how to have normal conversations. All we do is yell and scream.
Yeah, but you see, that's the thing. He doesn't come to discuss it with us, so there's nothing to discuss. So we have to correct him when he goes and exposes his idiocy on a Glober channel. That's why it's this way. Because if Jaren had any smarts up in his brain, he would say, listen, yeah, I don't understand the subject. Maybe let's go to the people that are talking about it. You understand?
Yeah, that would mean humbling yourself.
Yeah, instead he goes to people that are on the quote-unquote other side, giving false information like curved adjacents, giving an angle, trying to get information from them. What?
Well, I'll tell you what, Flatzoid, I hope he does go back to the ball, Jaren, because we're kicking your ass out.
Yeah.
I'm sure I saw him doing a video a bit back where he was trying to explain the sun and he was using a globe.
He did, yeah. The path of the sun, where he was trying to explain it on using Google Earth, and he was trying to explain how it seems to look like it's rising east to west or something from every point on the meridian. I remember that, yeah. Oh, wow. But yeah, Jaren, literally, I mean, what the hell? Have you been hiding under a rock for 3 years? You don't know what the hell's going on here. This is like, I mean, something really, I don't know. I'm actually flabbergasted with the amount of ignorance he's showing.
And then look when he did that demonstration shining laser through holes. He messed that up.
I still say that was on purpose. If you actually watch the mockumentary, they were cutting it with a bread knife. Okay? They're cutting with a bread knife before they quickly have to get it done. You don't go and do a quote-unquote experiment. It was an experiment, okay? His demonstration on a large media thing on Netflix, making it look like a dog's breakfast. You want it to be as concise as possible. So in other words, you build a rig to hold a laser light, in other words, concentrated light, at a perfect 90-degree angle, going through perfectly CNC cut machined circles that perfectly align with each other to make sure it goes through, correct? Yeah. No, the moron uses a flashlight with a guy holding it. The angle can be off by, I mean, a millimeter, and it will give a different result because it was off. It wasn't sitting 90 degrees. His holes were cut looking like a dog's breakfast, so they weren't even aligned properly. You know what? It literally was a dog's breakfast. So, yeah, he's an embarrassment, guys. The guy literally can't even do a demonstration correct. And it still has the audacity to call it an experiment. Because the guy doesn't know what science is. So please, Jeran, leave the flat earth side. You are not a truther. Leave the truth side, because you are not a truther. Just because he woke people up, Logan, doesn't mean he's a truther, though.
It is the most retarded statement to say.
Yeah. But yeah, I still applaud him for all the people he's brought to flat earth. Not bringing him down on that. What I'm bringing down on him is he's teaching people wrong. And he is an embarrassment because he can't get the arguments right. And he refuses to humble himself and just say, yeah, I was wrong. He refuses.
Even deceivers will tell people truth.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Crazy.
Hey, Jaren, if you listen to this, Get out! You're not needed anymore. You're an embarrassment.
So let me ask this again, just because for my own knowledge. So you do believe, yes, that if there were a flat Earth, let's say there's a flat Earth, and somebody wanted to deceive the people on said flat Earth,
You've been saying things
could
like
they
that.
not then?
It makes you dubious, doesn't it? When he's saying, "Just say there's a flat Earth." If there was a flat Earth, I mean, he should be saying, "I know there's a flat Earth." You know what I mean? That kind of thing. Now he's compromising.
Yeah, Awesome Lawson makes a good point. He's deep into the cult at this point. Plain and simple. That's called satanic. I agree.
Yeah.
He's a new ager, full and through, guys.
Well, yeah, there is that to it.
Project that flat Earth onto a sphere, and then from there, couldn't they do some clever mathematics, come up with the GP, drop it down to what they want it to be, and then, because you're not really getting that distance, they're telling you the distance. You don't know the distance from the GP of that star because they're giving it to you.
Yeah, the angle. No, the angle outputs that.
Yeah. Again, Jaren, if you knew anything about it, like I showed, your 90 degree, which is your baseline, minus your apparent altitude angle measurement, gives you your co-altitude angle reading times the arc. Yeah, the arc, which would require it's linear to the celestial sphere, aka the field of view dome, as you put it, because you can only see so far. It's perspective. Gives you your distance in nautical miles. It's all flat based. Not a curve in sight, guys. An arc measurement is flat.
Then you wouldn't need reduction tables.
No, the reduction tables are so that you can draw the intersects. That's
The reduction tables are there so you can make it more accurate. That's why the reduction tables are there. Because you needed to get it as accurate as possible. What?
Is that all you got, Mike?
Paula, Flatzoid.
Pitch to join Ellemnet, David. Come on,
Yeah.
man.
Paula, Flatzoid of the Lost Ark.
why. There's other
You mean
ways.
the line.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. If you watch
Rather
the
than the entire
video,
circle.
if you watch the video that I have that Protothad did, he did it in a very visual way. He used a compass on an actual
understand how it works on the
globe,
globe.
with a dry erase marker, and the globe was like a dry erase globe, and he drew this actual circle on it. But when you're in a boat, you're not.
Logan's right. That doesn't look like Jaren. He's been cloned. To be fair, he does look a bit odd.
He looks a bit chunkier in his face.
He doesn't look very happy, to be honest.
No.
doing that, and that's not very precise anyway. So when you're actually doing celestial navigation, I have the book. Oh, here it is. When you're doing actual celestial navigation, this is you're drawing the intersects on this.
Show me the curves. Show me any curves there, Mctoon. And that intersect, that rose, as you got it there, is on a flat map.
Yeah.
All those intersects, those line of positions of that compass rose on a flat map.
Yep.
Oh. Wow. And why are you skipping a few points here, Mctoon? How did you get those intersections? Maybe explain that to him.
So, and this represents a very small area. So, in order to get
the line is then part of a circle.
This is part of a circle, yes.
Okay.
Right. And of course, you're so zoomed in that line you can't. It doesn't matter. It's,
So zoomed in.
Yeah, circle of equal altitude. Maybe you should have told him that. So it's a circle of equal altitude of sometimes more than 3,000 miles away. So 3,000 miles of the same plane, no curve. How many opportunities just in this last few minutes of these guys talking did Jaren have to correct Mctoon? Plenty. And all he's been doing is saying, yeah, it could be a globe. No, it cannot be a globe. Everything presented shows it not to be a globe. You damn moron.
It's a manifold. The manifold is something when you're so close to it, you can't distinguish between a curve and a straight line. That's what a manifold is. So they don't use that terminology in here, but that's.
Yeah, but we don't see manifolds, Mctoon.
I got a manifold on my car.
I was going to say the same thing.
Well, actually, I don't have a car. When I get a car, there's going to be a manifold on it.
You had a car with a manifold.
You've got a virtual manifold.
I get a virtual manifold.
Oh, wow. Yeah, the virtual particles.
That's what they do. So that's.
And you're saying it can't be used on a flat Earth because if you were to draw circles, they wouldn't be circle?
No, the reason why you couldn't, if it were a flat Earth, it would be different, is because you couldn't use that the very first step wouldn't work, because the very first step is the angle multiple.
The very first step wouldn't work.
He's a freaking idiot.
Yeah.
Guys, listen. The very
Holy
first.
shoot.
But look at his hand. The very first step is the first angle holding an L, like a 90
Yeah, and he's
degree
holding
angle.
a 90. Yeah, the idiot is holding a 90. Listen, I agree with QE. They're not even allowed near a sextant because it don't work on a globe.
Wow. Hey, truth is everywhere. Thank you for coming. Oh, wow. So wow. What? Why, Jaren, is it so hard to look at the screen and say, but listen, you holding an L, which is a 90 degree angle, which is the first step, which you said is not working on a flat Earth. Show me a 90 degree on your globe, please.
Multiplied by 60. That's it. You take the angle or the co-angle. It's the departure from zenith, right? So if the star is 10 degrees from
minus
zenith,
it from 90. Right.
10 degrees.
Departure from zenith.
But 10 degrees from what? What's a 10 degree angular measurement, Mctoon? Remember what you said, what an angle is? Yeah. So the first step is flat based. Heck, the design of the thing you're using, the nautical sextant, is flat based. The angles, the principle of a sextant, aka the angles at precession, what to say? Not precession. I'm getting confused.
See, Flatzoid, when he said that, right away, Jaren should have said, no, you can't make the first step because you're on a sphere. So it don't work on a globe.
Exactly. That's the whole thing. Succession, that's what I'm trying to think. Okay. But yeah, the whole principle of a... Let's do this. The principle of a sextant.
That parlor, he looks very shameful, doesn't he?
Yeah, he does.
Oh, what? Like the Davis quadrant, the sextant allows celestial objects to be measured relative to the horizon. I thought you don't want to use the Earth, guys. Rather than the relative to the instrument. This allows excellent precision. Also, unlike the backstaff, the sextant allows direct observations of stars. This permits the use of the sextant at night when a backstaff is difficult to use. The solar observation, okay, filters, blah, blah, blah. Since the measurement is relative to the horizon, weird how that works, the measurement pointer is a beam of light that reaches to the horizon. The measurement is thus limited by the angular accuracy of the instrument and not the sign error of the length of the alidade. as it is an mariner's astrolabe or similar other older instruments. A sextant does not require a completely steady arm because it measures a relative angle. Note, guys, they keep saying relative. What does relative mean? For example, when a sextant is used in moving ship, the images of both horizon and celestial object will move around in the field of view. However, the relative position of the two images will remain steady, and as long as the two determine when the celestial object touches the horizon, the accuracy of the measurement will remain high compared to the magnitude of the movement. Great. I want to see if I can... There we go. This is what I was saying. Oh, they got a... There. You see, this is the angles in succession. This is the principle of the sextant. These are the two index mirrors, okay?
Yeah.
So you're looking through the one horizon mirror. This would be the horizon mirror as it passes through to the horizon. This has to be perfectly horizontal with the horizon. So in other words, it's parallel to the horizon. And while it's looking through to the horizon, it also has an angle of succession to the index arm mirror. This would be that arm that's moving around the index, the arc, that gives that measurement. What do you guys realize? What is that? Is that parallel to that angle? Yes. Angle 1 and angle 2. Angle of succession. Your whole principle of the sextant can only work on a flat earth. Because if it wasn't, it wouldn't line up and you wouldn't have an angular reading.
You measure it and it's 80 and you subtract from 90. That's rough, right? There's more precision that you can do in that, but simplify.
So why
it.
does
So
nine-
hold on. Well, I want to be clear. Hey, Oakley crew, I'm simplifying things.
Oakley girl.
Simplifying things. No, you're trying to deceive Jaren, because you know if you're going to not simplify it, as you put it, you would be showing that it's flat. But the sad thing is, even when you simplified it, you showed it to be flat. But you got such an idiotic person on the stream with you, he can't call you out on it because he looks like he's a vegetable. He literally looks like his brain's frying right now.
He looks like a beaten dog.
Yeah.
I've literally got a comment screenshotted and saved on a memory stick. Mctoon claiming that he's a professional navigator.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna be saying that. Yeah.
Guys, thank you all for joining. It's good to see so much people in. If you haven't already, please do hit the likes and share the show. It does help to get it out to a further audience. You guys rock. Really appreciate everybody being here, by the way.
All right, so yeah, that's why I started with your departure from zenith is 10. So if you're sitting at 10, then you know you're 10 times 60 nautical miles away. So that's the thing right there. That's completely based on the globe geometry.
Oh, is it? What did I put here, guys? What is that? Is that globe? No. No. Sorry. Definitely not. Mctoon, so that's a lie. Well done. And again, what's an angle?
Geometry. If it were a different shape, that would have to be done differently. You couldn't just multiply by 60 nautical miles because you'd have to be doing arctangents to get the distance.
False. We explained why it's got an arc. Because the index arm works on an arc which is linear to the celestial sphere in the sky, Mctoon. Yeah. Field of view, mate. Your personal perspective bubble, as we put it.
I guess I'm still confused as to if it was a deception that people originally had a flat plane, they then projected it onto a sphere, they then created a celestial sphere, they then we're able to locate where the GP of every star would be on said.
You know what you should have asked, Jaren? If it was globe-based, then tell us how the Phoenicians, how can I put it? Flat earthers, yes, Phoenicians or flat earthers, were such awesome celestial nautical navigators.
Yeah, I agree. Jaren could be the next Ranty.
Rantism.
Yeah, well, Ranty's I don't know, the guy's like disappeared. I think the pain just got too much for him, because I think he got paid out, so it's just too much for him. Because he literally started looking sickly after he so-called became a glober.
Yeah.
Sphere, and then somebody could do celestial navigation by looking at their angle to a star. Let's say it's, like you said, 80, and then you do that reduction, you get the 10, you get the 600, whatever, and then you're drawing a circle around. So I could see where it still would work on a globe. It's still how you would, but I don't understand.
No. I see how it would still work on a globe. No, Jaren. How can you see it still work on a globe? A circle of equal altitude is over a horizontal plane, Jaren. You know what a circle is? It's a two-dimensional shape. It doesn't have height, Jaren. This is how idiotic this has got. That Jaren doesn't even know that a circle's a two-dimensional shape. It doesn't have height. The globe claims the circle to be a sphere. It claims it to have height.
Yeah, if you draw a circle on a globe, you've got a dome.
Yeah. It's not a circle anymore.
David Lee, someone's scared because you're not capable of joining a simple...
Well, he's been invited. He has the link right up here. It's been here the whole time for him to come in.
Well, he says he can't join for some reason. Is it Emmy said he couldn't join?
Mr. The Price Adam, the internet is against you showing Flatzoid your ass. Exactly. They always have excuses not to come in. Always chat skanking, keyboard warriors, but as soon as they get invited to come in, excuses. I can't come in. Why? Yeah. You're such a moron. Okay, come and prove it I'm a moron. When you come in to talk. You see, that's the difference between me and these bloody keyboard warriors. I don't give a shit what they think. And if I talk about something, I actually make sure I at least know something about it. Okay, so we got 90 votes, guys. Jaren is an embarrassment to Flat Earth. Yes, 64%, no, 36%. Keep the votes coming in. And again, if you haven't hit the likes and shared the show, please do so. It does help to get the show out to a wider audience.
So he pasted it in the app and it says unable.
You don't need to use an app. You use a browser. We in the browser right now. You see this? This is the browser. I'm not using an app. I'm on the browser. And if you're on your phone, you can use the app as well.
Yeah. But if you're on the computer, it's best to use that link on the browser, definitely.
And no Sigma Step, I've definitely had tech problems before, mate. The only difference is, if I say I'm coming, I come. I make a plan if I have to. These guys say, you guys are such morons, blah, 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 calling the out the whole time. And as soon as they get invited, they got excuses not to come talk.
You wouldn't. The part where you multiply by 60 nautical miles, that's the part that would have to be different. You'd have to do an arctangent function.
Okay, but the difference between a flat Earth and a globe when talking about a GP is only then the curvature, which...
Yeah, he's right. And into the break, he's just told David he's just joined, and he's in the panel now.
Yeah,
so
how's it going? How's it going into the break? You doing well? Well, anyway,
definitely here, but he's not talking.
Well, anyway.
That's
Thank you for having me. Sorry. Yeah, what a good fun this is, David. I just now joined.
Exactly. And it wasn't that difficult, was it? You just literally click and it shows you where to go.
Yeah, I was trying to go through the Safari app. Yeah, you click the link in the drop-down box below the video, and boom, takes you right here. Very simple.
Yeah. Well, it's good to have you in here, mate.
Nice one.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you. Modern Day Debate, The Asylum, and Pandas has debunked me or deleted me from joining them. So thank you for having me.
Oh, you're always welcome. Definitely not going to be unwelcome here, mate.
Yeah, they think.
And you're
they
welcome
think
to
me
join me
having
on
them-
Tuesday as well.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
I'll join you. Yeah, me just holding them to defining their terms makes me a troll, and then they can just dismiss me and delete me. It's very sad.
Ridiculous.
I was sad because I was like, hey, I like you guys. Like, it's kind of mean, but mean-spirited, I guess.
That's it.
It's a toxic chat, isn't it, on MDD?
It is.
Oh yeah, I don't even go in their chats really, because it doesn't help. As soon as you say something, you got a whole bunch of trolls literally just straw manning and going on the whole time, ad homing, and not actually getting any discussion. So I don't even go on MDD, to be honest. So yeah,
and I was tolerating it, and and I was just like, no, you said this, like, no, you don't know the difference between a calculation. It's very simple stuff. They don't know foundational geometry. They don't know definitions of words. They don't know propositional calculus, aka logical fallacy. And they get mad when you point this stuff out. And it's like, no, I just want you to do better. Don't get mad at me. I'm just trying to help you push yourselves along, so that maybe we can change society, because you are going to come out with that Cavendish perpetual motion machine,
exactly,
or the dynamo effect perpetual magnetic motion battery.
Yeah,
that would be great. You could change humanity. They should get Nobel prizes, and I'm just like trying to push them to do that.
Yeah, but it's sad. But it's good to have you. I just want to say hi to LSG. Good to see you. Godzilla37, thank you very much for your $5 super chat. Really, really appreciate all the support, mate. He says, I can't like Jaren. I tried once long time ago. It failed. Yeah, I used to, in the beginning, respect Jaren until I saw through his bullshit. And frankly, the guy has just been shown to be scum to me. That's about it. So I lost all respect for the guy. I mean, you guys have seen the Skype messages between us. I was still nice to him even while he's swearing at me constantly. And it's disgusting behavior. So yeah, I lost all respect for this guy. Like, as in totally. So, yeah.
And then the two guys that have been disgusting to you are on the screen now.
Yeah. This one calls me a wife beater. This one swears at me and calls me retarded and a moron and stuff because he doesn't know what science is. Yeah, weird. Hey Rob Keane, good to see you as well, glad you could make it. But yeah, thanks guys all for coming, really appreciate you being here. And just want to say, GP, Jaren, doesn't mean globe, it just means geographical position. Okay, you can have a geographical position on a pineapple if you wanted to. It doesn't make it a globe or flat. It's just a position geographically. You can have a geographical position on a donkey's asshole.
On an ass's ass.
On an ass's ass, exactly.
You're then looking at the chord length of, the chord length of 2,500 miles is probably,
What chord length, Jaren? What chord length? There's no globe to have a chord length. Why is he keep on trying to defend a globe? He's not supposed to be defending a globe, and all Jaren does when he opens his mouth is defend a globe.
The difference between a curved 2,500 miles and a flat 2,500 miles is barely anything, right? Well, 2,500 might be a lot.
That's a good amount there. Yeah, that chord length.
How much? I mean, not much.
No, I can't do trick.
Yes, you can step. I'm being mighty profane tonight because I'm getting triggered by the dishonesty of this twat on screen. That's why.
In my head, dude.
Why not?
Hold on, I got my slide rule.
Yeah,
Hold on.
Call Red's rhetoric. He actually told me he can do the 76 moons of Saturn. He can do the more than a 3-body.
Wow, Jaren, Red talks to you. Red runs away from me when I try to talk to him. The guy's a coward.
Problem. He can do 76 moons of Saturn. He'll do it right now if you want. Just call him. I'm gonna look up that up real quick. I just want to see what that is.
Call Red's rhetoric. I don't have his phone number.
Yeah. I don't know why you would expect to have a plumber's phone number anyway. Red Redrick's just a plumber, mate. Come on, he's not this brilliant.
It's funny how Baller ain't got Baller's phone number, but Flat Earther has.
Yeah.
Weird.
Hey, Miss Mandy, good to see you. Oh, it's Triggered Limey's lady. Are you Triggered Limey's lady, Miss Mandy? Well, welcome then. Glad you could make it. Triggered Limey, we definitely have to have a discussion sometime. And I'm definitely be doing a video on his latest stream about me. You might want to take it up with your hubby of how he was... everything he got wrong. But yeah, welcome.
So is that what I'm talking about? Is it the chord that we're looking for, or what?
No. It's because you're looking at you have the angle to the star, and we know the GP of the star because that's published in the nautical almanac.
So let's just say, for example, we're doing polar.
Yeah, and how did they get the nautical almanac get all its data from the GP, guys? Would that be observations through the centuries?
It says you run away from him.
I've never ran away from him. I don't even know who the bloody guy is.
Yes, you run away from me, a qualified navigator. Who are you?
I don't even know who he is. But I ran away from him. Congratulations, man.
Polaris or whatever. Okay, so there's Polaris, there's the one star. We know where the GP is down to the North Pole. Okay, so then let's look at...
Yeah, this spray painter definitely has more chutzpah than that plumber. Because the guy holds a camera watching rockets launch into the ocean. Doesn't make him intelligent. Hey, Faciality, thank you for coming. Glad you could make it.
Sirius. We know where that GP would be. It's above whatever, Australia. It doesn't matter. So then, once you have those points, of course you're only going to do the star that's close to you, so you're not going to be that far away, right? What do you think the most distance you are away from a star that you're observing when doing celestial navigation? You're going to try and do stars that are...
Add, again, there's my link. Click it and come in and talk. Okay?
If you have a debate, I'll moderate.
Come in. Right now. How's that? Wow.
And if you want to set up a day for a debate, I would moderate, not a problem.
Yeah.
1,000?
So
2,000
well,
miles?
actually, there's more of a sweet spot. Then you don't want them super close.
Okay.
You want them, and you don't want them really close to the horizon. You want them kind of mid-range.
Why? Would that be because of refraction? Weird. Does refraction change the apparent altitude angle? I thought these guys said they are physical altitudes, correct? So optical then, an apparent reading. Ed, I've challenged you multiple times to a moderated debate. Again, come in now and chat. And then we can even set up a moderated debate. How's that sound? No one's running away from you. I am right here.
The link's at the top.
What the hell?
So I don't know the number. I mean, it's going to be a big distance. But here's the thing. Tell me. Let's if you have the angle to the north
Sure.
star. How far are you on flat Earth from the GP?
What? What? If you have the angle to the North Star, how far are you on flat Earth to the GP? That's not a question. It's a malformed question, because all you need to do is this is how you should say it. If you have an apparent measurement of Polaris, the North Star, at let's say 30 degrees, how far are you? That's what you do. Not if you see the North Star from the GP, how far are you?
So here in front of your minions, I challenge you to a moderated debate on the sextant celestial navigation and the Great South Pole navigation. I think modern day debate would be a good platform.
Can you come in now and talk about it first, Ed? How's that?
And we're not minions.
Yeah, no, not minions.
I can be quiet, and I bet Neil can, and Break can, and PJ will moderate, so I'll get you sending now, Ed.
Yeah.
Put your money where your
here.
mouth is.
We're right
Threatening
here.
debates when you've got opportunity to come and do it now. Quite cowardly.
Yeah, and it's not even like I'm prepared for it. How's that? You can just come on now.
Okay. Right.
Ed, you're full of shit, Flatzoid. You turned me down. I never turned you down. I don't even know who the hell you are. And I get emails by a lot of people, Aid. So why don't you come now and chat now? You see, this is the problem I have with these trolls. I am here telling him, come, talk to me. I'm here. Now, live. And he's making excuses.
That's all he is.
And he's making excuses.
If he really thought that he'd be in and telling you what's what, make your mouth in a chat as no.
Yeah. So if you don't have the balls to come in and chat now, then don't bother me. It's as easy as that. Stop wasting my time. I talk to men, not mouse. Okay.
Your angle minus 90.
No, that you.
Oh, Jaren. No, it's your 90 takes your minus your angular measurement, apparent angular measurement, gives you your co-altitude angle, times the 60 degree nautical miles, because it's an arc measurement, which gives you your distance. That's what it did.
You just used the globe, but do the math.
Well, you're saying,
and then use flat Earth. The problem is you don't really have a map.
But if it was a deception, you guys always want to argue from the point of there's no deception going on.
Again, I've got an effing email from you refusing. I haven't refused anything. People send me emails every day from a whole bunch of different people. Come on the chat now.
And now listen to me, Ed.
Yeah.
Stop with swearing, mate, or I'll boot you out.
One more time and you're gone. Yeah.
Clown.
So again, last time, come on and chat now. You're either here or you're not. Stop wasting my time. Okay?
Which is not our position. Our position is there is a deception going on. So, therefore, you just saying, well, yeah, you're using the globe. Well, yeah, I have to. What are my options?
No, you don't. What the hell nonsense is this? You're saying, yeah, you have to use the globe. No, you don't have to use the globe at all, Jaren. It's not based on a globe. The globe is based on the flat Earth measurement. They calculate it into a globe belief system. They move it to the center of Earth to presuppose their globe after they've measured it flat.
Right. He's getting timed out.
Hey, David Lee says he's an Ellemnet. Woo! That took a while.
If the Earth is flat, you would use flat.
Well, yeah, but they've hidden that. So how am I supposed to get that? You think I have the money to go out?
Don't use their stuff. Use geometry based on flat.
Geometry based on flat. All your geometry is based on flat, Mctoon.
Okay. How far are you from the North Star, or from the GP of the North Star, if the angle is... So
my angle is like 35 degrees, so then 90 minus...
Okay, 35 degrees. Let's do it this way. We'll do it for him quickly. Let's do it again. 90 minus 35. How much does that equals, guys? 55, correct?
Yeah.
What's 55 times 60? And no, I'm not a human calculator, so I'm going to go to a calculator. 55 times 60. 3,300 nautical miles. There we go. There's your distance, Mctoon. Wow, I just did it flat.
Flatzoid. Dave, you don't have to have your camera on, mate, if you don't want to.
Oh, is Dave in?
Yeah, he's in. He's in.
Yeah, Dave, you don't have to have camera on, mate. But it's good to have you in. Can you hear us, David?
Oh, hey guys, can you hear me?
Oh, yeah, perfect. How's it going?
Oh, good. How are you guys? Nice to
good.
meet you finally.
Good, man.
It's good to have you in.
No, I don't mind. I don't care. You know, either on, off, it doesn't matter.
Is there anything specific you wanted to talk about?
Well, yeah, I mean, when you talk about an angle, okay, nobody is measuring off of a curved baseline. That's what I've been trying to say. The surface underneath your angle or whatever baseline you use is completely irrelevant. You are at a point, you're at one point, your eye is at one point, you're looking at another point, let's say on the horizon, okay, there is a straight line between those 2 points. It has nothing whatsoever to do with the surface underneath. The other point is the celestial object, sun, star, whatever it is. There's a straight line between your eye or your instrument and that point. The instrument reads directly the angle between those 2 points with the vertex at your eye or your instrument.
Can I speak?
Yeah, go ahead.
You said that your angle's got naught to do with surface of Earth, but your angle's directly part of your distance measurement to your GP, and your boat is on the surface of the Earth.
Right.
And we read,
problems.
Yeah, but not just that. And we read with the citation, that link you sent, the surface of sea level. Sea level. You would agree sea level is the surface?
Yeah. It's still not flat, but regardless.
But you just said you
Surface,
measured.
the
You just
surface.
said it measured flat.
I didn't say that.
The angle is flat, no curved baseline.
No, the line between your eye and whatever point you're shooting on as a reference is a straight line. The line is...
And the reference is the horizon.
And you're claiming that straight line's X
Okay.
amount of height above surface of Earth.
I'm sorry.
If I'm 20 foot above surface on a boat, you're claiming that line's 20 foot above surface, yeah?
Okay. If you're on a ship 20 feet above the surface, okay, using a marine sextant, you're 20 feet above the surface. You point the scope at a point on the horizon, okay? You set, I'm not sure exactly how, but you set 0 at that point, and then you shoot on the celestial object. However far you have to move it, it moves the angle, your angular scale that far, and that's the angle. Now you have to make a correction to account for the fact that you are 20 feet above the surface.
You just said you don't use the surface.
I understand that. Yes, the surface is not part of the angle, but you're 20 feet above it. So when you look at the horizon, you are looking down slightly, very, very, very slightly. Okay?
Yeah, because you are using the surface, correct? The horizon is the surface.
The horizon is on the surface. Okay, but the surface is not one side of your angle.
David. You're always above the surface.
Of course.
But you need when you shoot that line to horizon, to your zenith, it's not a 90 degrees until you lower your right down to the surface of the ocean.
Exactly, because you're higher than the
Welcome to
surface.
flat Earth then.
Okay, so you use the correction in the
Nautical Almanac.
in the almanac, yeah, to account for the fact that you're above the water. That gives you, that subtracts out that slight difference between perfectly horizontal from your eye. What you really want, what you're ultimately after to get your equal altitude or your distance from the GP, what you ultimately want is the angle from straight overhead, or your zenith, to the celestial object. That angle is the same as the angular distance along the surface to the GP of whatever celestial object you're looking at. Now, with the marine sextant, the way to get that angle is to subtract it from 90, but the 90 is from the
elevation
from directly
angle.
overhead to horizontal. On a boat, you don't know exactly what is horizontal because there's no bubble level or anything on a marine sextant.
But
you have to point at something that you can see.
Yeah,
you
but
can see the horizon. You point at a point on the horizon, and then you say, okay, how far is that point below perfectly horizontal?
But you see,
now
that,
you can use, if it's very, very calm, okay, if you're on perfectly calm water, you can use a type of sextant that has a bubble level, and you can level that bubble, and you don't need to look at the horizon.
it's
Are you
artificial.
claiming that the horizon's below horizontal?
No, it's an artificial horizon. Yes, you can create an artificial horizon.
No,
But he's making a point that the angles don't have a curved adjacent, like he said, conceded, great. And you're making a point that the surface is what you are measuring, aka the horizon, and you have a height above that horizon. So to make it more accurate, you have to have height of eye correction. Now the problem on your globe is you require this height of eye to be a tangent, because your horizon needs to be a physical tangent point, correct?
Say that one more time.
On
Sorry.
a globe, you require your horizon to be a physical tangent point.
Okay,
So that means the Earth would be curving away from you on your globe.
right.
So the angle would not be parallel, therefore you claiming your Earth would have a curved adjacent.
Angle would not be parallel to what?
Remember, the sextant works with the principle of a succession angle. That means the incident, horizon mirror and the index mirror have to all be parallel with the baseline, which is the horizon. So it's three straight parallel horizontal lines in succession with one another.
Okay.
So therefore, it's not a curved surface, it's flat.
Okay, it's a line.
Yeah.
It's a line between 2 points.
So welcome to flat Earth. That's what we're saying. It's all measured flat.
It's not measured flat. It's measured between point A and point B. If I have point A that is my eye or an instrument, and point B is some point out somewhere that is coincident with some object that I'm looking at with an optical instrument, and then point C is some other object that I can see overhead, the angle is between the line of sight from point A to point B, and then from, to the line of sight from point A to point C.
Yeah,
Okay.
so when you set the sextant and you bring the luminary down to the horizon to make it kiss the horizon, why would you need to do that?
Why would you need to? So that the the scale or the instrument will measure the angle between those 2 points.
At horizontal.
It's not measuring it from horizontal, it's measuring it from the line of sight from your eye to the point way out there on the horizon.
So they have
And you have to subtract the difference between horizontal from your eye and from your eye to the point on the horizon.
Yeah, but you see, you're contradicting your claims, though. The whole time you're saying you don't use the surface of Earth, and then you talk about the horizon as the surface of Earth, and you're claiming all the angles are measured horizontally.
Well, of course the horizon is on the surface of the Earth. What I'm saying is that the surface of the Earth between your vertex of your angle and some point is not the surface that you are, or not the line or surface or whatever that the angle is measured from. You're not using the surface between, if point B is my point that I'm shooting at on the horizon, and I'm at point A, say 20 feet above the water on a ship, okay, the surface of the water between me and point B is irrelevant. There could be, it could be, say, from a point, on a bay or something, let's say, that goes out across, and might have a peninsula or an island in between me and point B. Okay, that's definitely not going to be a smooth, straight, flat baseline. It's going to have all kinds of in between.
Yeah, but
that's not the surface that the angle is.
what's an elevation? What's an elevation angle? Yeah, what's an elevation angle?
Elevation angle. The elevation angle is the angle to the object from horizontal. And horizontal. Horizontal is horizontal from your eye at that point.
Above sea level.
If another guy is, a mile away, his horizontal is not the same as my horizontal.
Yeah, above sea level.
What is the elevation of topography measured from?
What is the elevation?
So, like, say, height of a mountain, the elevation of a mountain. What is that measured from?
Yeah.
Well, typically the summit of a mountain is listed as elevation above sea level.
Exactly.
Right, there you go, sea level. So whether there's topography there or not, the baseline's still sea level.
Sea level, yeah.
Sure.
So it's flat.
Welcome to flat Earth.
Yeah.
See, level doesn't mean flat. You guys love definitions. Okay, go to your same dictionary. Go to
Merriam-Webster.
To Merriam-Webster's dictionary.
We've gone through this, yeah.
Yeah, you've gone through this and denied it.
Okay.
Level.
If I bring it up and I tell you,
conforming to the curved surface of the Earth.
Okay, if I can show you the Merriam-Webster dictionary definition, do you agree horizontal never curves?
Horizontal never curves.
And if I can show you the definition of level shows horizontal in there, you would agree then that it'd be a contradiction if it does say there's curves.
Hang on.
Who the freak is this character?
Adjective, having no part higher than another, conforming to the curvature of the liquid parts of the Earth's surface.
Okay, I'm in the Merriam-Webster.
Yeah, of course, it also says parallel with the plane of the horizon, even or unvarying in height, equal in advantage, progression, or standing.
Okay, would you please be able to explain to me what a noun is?
A noun, a person, place, or thing.
Great. So you would agree a horizontal surface is a physical place?
Horizontal surface. Yeah, it can be.
Great. So, number 4B, a practically horizontal surface or area. As the land, the level of the plateau.
Okay.
Number 3, horizontal condition. 2, the measured of difference of altitude 2 points means of a level.
By means of a level. Yeah, a device.
1, establishing a horizontal line or plane. Okay? Now, if we have a horizontal, tell me again how it curves. Remember I asked you if I can show you in that same definition, horizontal, you would agree that it doesn't curve, it would be a contradiction.
No. Those are different. One's a noun, the other is an adjective.
Okay, what's an adjective?
This is the very same dictionary entry. Again, having no part higher than another, conforming to the curvature of the...
This guy's a freaking idiot.
Okay, what's an adjective?
Relevant. You don't do science by reading a dictionary.
Okay,
Adjective.
what's an adjective?
Describe in what?
We're not talking about science, we're talking about social knowledge.
I'm making it to the main basics so I can try and explain it to you on a very basic level so you see how you're contradicting your own self here.
No, it's not contradicting anything.
We got it on screen.
It's not my statement. It's actually right here. I'm reading it directly out of the Merriam-Webster dictionary.
Yeah, I got it on screen for everybody.
Okay.
So, adjective, parallel with the plane of the horizon, horizontal.
Sure.
So, would that be a contradiction to say it's curved?
To say what's curved?
Horizontal.
Nobody says horizontal is curved.
Great. So it's a contradiction when they say conforming to the curvature of liquid parts of Earth's surface.
No, it's not.
So horizontal curves then?
Horizontal doesn't curve. The Earth
Congratulations.
curves. Level is curved.
And what does level mean? Parallel with the plane of the horizon. Horizontal.
That's a definition.
It's
It
the
is
definition.
also A, having no part higher than another, conforming to the curvature of the liquid parts of the Earth's surface.
Again, the whole entirety of level definition is not having curve. They literally stuck one contradictory statement in here because the belief of a curving Earth. It contradicts the rest of the definition.
Dude, are you serious?
Yes, I'm serious.
Yes.
Seriously?
Absolutely.
I'm serious.
No.
Yes.
Yeah. Level is
Not even
straight.
close.
So
Horizontal,
you
parallel.
literally just agreed with me that horizontal doesn't curve as an adjective, and an adjective literally says parallel with the plane of the horizon, horizontal.
And again, it also says, just like I said, part 1A, having no part, blah, blah, blah.
Okay, show
Okay,
me.
who are any of you to say, oh, that's just made up and put in there because, they want to deny flat Earth? That's just crazy.
They stuck it in the 1800, I think it was the 1860s or something.
And
they stuck it
where's
in the
your
dictionary.
evidence of that?
They literally said that's when they edited it to put it in. So anyway,
Where is your evidence of that?
I don't need to give evidence because the problem is you're not conceding that horizontal doesn't curve. You conceded that.
Don't need to give evidence.
Why do I need to? It's a non sequitur. It's got nothing to do with the argument when they put it in. The argument is horizontal doesn't curve. You brought up the argument now. Definition says it's curving. Okay? So I'm telling you, even when just before you brought up, I asked you a very specific question. If I can bring the word horizontal in the level definition and you bring curvature, would that be a contradiction to the word?
No.
And you were very hesitant to answer that because curvature contradicts horizontal.
No, it doesn't. Not even in the slightest. No. What I'm saying is you just said that they put that in there. They put that entry in the definition in the dictionary to promote this magical globe Earth conspiracy. And I said, where is your evidence of that?
Listen, I've got a Collins English dictionary from when I was in junior school in Myanmar, and I'm looking at definitional level, and what's in Merriam-Webster is not in my dictionary.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, that's nice.
Yeah.
Let me ask you this. Do any of you guys have an engineering degree? Or a professional engineer's license?
Appeal to academics now. Well done. Sorry.
Well,
do you
academics
do you know?
I use that every single day. I didn't get a professional license by not knowing what I'm doing.
Great. So,
I do it every single day. I design and build real stuff that really works using Newton's laws, law of universal gravitation.
But you don't understand celestial navigation.
Okay, David.
But you don't understand celestial navigation.
David, David, would you mind me asking you a question then? What kind of engineering do you do?
Mechanical.
Mechanical, great. So you have an understanding about gas pressure then?
Yep.
Great. So all your mechanical engineering, you've conceded then you would require some sort of containment to have the gas pressure.
What I'll say is that we do have containment. It's called gravity. And I know this opens another can of worms up, but that's why you guys deny gravity.
No. First of all, okay, we're not even getting into gravity.
There is no gas pressure next to a vacuum like you guys claim.
I agree. That's why we have containment. I agree. But the thing is, you would agree then your gravity argument is false because it's not a force. Gravity, you require a force.
What is it then?
Gravity doesn't exist. It's pseudo belief system.
But what is it then? If it's not a force, what is it?
It doesn't exist. It's nothing.
It doesn't exist.
It's a belief. You guys have taken the density ratios. That's how we try and explain in relative density disequilibrium, because it can, let's say something is denser, it cannot be supported by something less dense. Okay, but this is
supported against what? Sorry if I cut you off.
Can air support a golf ball, for instance?
Supported against what?
Air. Air's moving around in all directions. You got a golf ball, you've picked it up, and you let it go. Mm-hmm. Will it fall through the air? Will it displace the air around it, or will the air hold the golf ball up?
I think we all know exactly what happens.
Yeah, it sinks through the air because the air can't support it, correct?
Yeah, again, support it against what?
Great, so F equals ma holds true then.
What's pulling down on the ball?
Nothing's pulling the ball down. That's the whole point. Your belief
why does the ball go down?
Because it's denser than the air around it, it can't support it. You picked the ball up. Now the problem is you are making a claim that something that's not a force, aka F equals ma, the force that requires the mass to accelerate, is gravity. And if you agree gravity is not a force, how is it causing it to accelerate?
Who said gravity's not a force, first of all? Who said that?
It's been this way for 108 years already. We can bring
108 years according to who?
Brian Cox. Gravity's not actually a force. Gravity.
Brian Cox isn't 100. He's not 108 years old.
I'm giving you references to people that say this. Sabine.
Okay, well, who said it 108 years ago?
Since Einstein was brought up, general relativity.
Okay, general relativity. What general relativity says that gravity is the warpage of space-time.
Not a force. Okay. Congratulations.
Okay.
So
however,
Newton's law of motion is debunked then. Is that what you're saying?
No. Read what else Einstein also says about it.
Okay.
Okay. If you take Einstein's equations and you apply them to any situation that does not involve speed approaching the speed of light or something incredibly massive like a star, it all reduces to Newton's law of universal gravitation. We use it every single day. We treat it as a force. When you stand on a bathroom scale, the reaction force of that scale, the reaction of that scale to you standing on it is a force.
Again,
So
general
again,
relativity.
yeah, gravity is a force.
No.
For all intents and purposes, gravity is a force.
No, false.
Density is not a
General
force.
relativity states that it's a mathematical relative pseudo-Riemannian effect. It appears to be accelerating towards another, but it doesn't actually accelerate. That's why when you pick up that golf ball, the golf ball's not accelerating to the ground according to general relativity. The ground is accelerating upwards to meet the ball.
Okay.
That's what it's claimed. So there's no force. So therefore, the ball is not accelerating. So, no force for the ball to accelerate.
If you measure the motion of the ball,
How? There's no motion.
relative
According
the
to general
surface that we
relativity,
stand on,
according to general relativity, it's not moving.
again, if you measure the motion of the ball relative to the surface you're standing on in our world, in the real world, yeah, it accelerates. It goes a little bit faster, a little bit faster, a little bit faster until it hits the ground. It accelerates by 32.2 feet per second
I agree.
every second, or 9.81 meters per second every meter.
And it's measured, correct?
Of course.
So, and you require a force for this measurement to take place because it needs to physically take the mass to accelerate to take this measurement, correct?
Okay.
Yeah, so there's an actual force present. Now, if gravity's not a force, it's not the cause for this acceleration.
Well, yeah, in this case, it's a force.
It
We
can't.
treat it
You
like a
can't.
force every single day. Okay, in engineering, we don't get into the, we're not doing things at the level of general relativity. General relativity is much more,
It's pseudo-Riemannian. It's more for the celestial. It's in the fourth dimension mathematical basis. That's what general relativity is.
yeah, something like that.
But it has superseded the classical Newtonian mechanics.
No, it has not. It has not. It hasn't done any such thing. You read any of the physicists, Einstein, from Einstein on, they'll all tell you that general relativity does not supersede Newtonian mechanics.
Flatzoid. I'm going to
It
get off,
doesn't.
mate. I'm tired.
Okay, shot, mate.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah,
thanks for
right.
coming.
Nice talking to you, David.
All right, thanks.
See you later, guys.
Cheers. I'll just have to
But,
find.
but what? Let me make one point regarding the. I'm glad you brought up density ratio. I made
Yeah.
a little video clip using my using a touchscreen whiteboard, showing how the ratio of densities, or excuse me, the ratio of forces, okay, reduces to the ratio of densities, which is why it leads people to say, oh, it's the density. The density of this thing is greater than the density of some fluid, so that's what makes it go up or down. Well, it's the same ratio. For example, okay, you're talking about buoyancy. All right, buoyancy is a force that acts on everything that is submerged in a fluid, whether that fluid is air or some other gas or water.
Archimedes principle.
Right, Archimedes principle.
Do you know
Okay,
Archimedes?
so-
Do you know Archimedes principle predates gravity by about 1,900 years, though?
Okay,
It's just displacement of the weight caused by the pressure of the object relative to the
Right.
medium. So
Right.
yeah, we don't need
So-
to have gravity as a force for this buoyant effect
Well, yeah,
to
you do.
happen. No, you don't.
because something's got to be pulling down on the fluid.
No, nothing needs to be pulling down on the fluid. If you take it, you see, I think
course it
the
does.
problem comes with your fundamental belief is I require something to be pulling it down. No, you don't. If you understand you picked up that object, okay, it has impulse on the medium around it.
Has impulse on the medium, or what
The
on
amount
earth?
of, so it's the amount of time the force is applied on the medium. That's impulse. You know what impulse
Yeah,
is?
impulse
it's
is
momentum.
force times time.
Yeah. Okay. So if it is displacing the pressure enough, it is able to float. That's why you get like a feather that takes much longer to fall, because it displaces the air around it much easier than, for instance, a golf ball.
Right, and it has drag.
Yeah. Okay.
Aerodynamic drag. That's why it takes a long time to
Yeah,
fall.
that's why when you throw the things in a vacuum and you remove the medium around it, it goes down with no drag. You didn't remove.
course.
You didn't account for gravity there. You literally took the medium away. So taking the medium away shows that there's less support for the object, and that's why it has that acceleration to the ground after you've picked it up.
Again, support against what?
You took the support away. Just like you stick something on a table, you would agree that table is supporting the cup on the table.
Of course.
Yeah, so take the table away. What's going to happen to the cup?
Falls to the floor.
Exactly, that's exactly how relative density disequilibrium works. The air, the medium, is the supporting, yes, that's how buoyancy works. It's displacement. It's Archimedes' principle.
No.
Yes.
That's not what Archimedes' principle is.
Displacement.
There's no such thing as relative density. Relative density equilibrium was no. It's not a force that can move anything. Nothing moves without having a force applied to it.
Exactly, and gravity is not a force. That's my whole point.
The hell it's
so you
not.
can't.
It is.
No, it's not. show me a I have shown so many citations.
It's not a force, but it acts as a force.
You cherry-pick citations.
What? No, it's
Cherry-pick citations.
even Wikipedia. Gravity is most accurately described in general relativity proposed by Albert Einstein in 1955, which describes gravity not as a force, but as the curvature of space-time caused by the uneven distribution of mass and causing masses to move
Okay.
along a geodesic line.
Okay.
Correct? So not as a force. Why gravity
Okay.
is not
Well-
a force. From West Texas A&M University.
Okay. That's those are describing the same thing. We measure it as a force. We don't measure it as a warpage of space-time caused by two masses or multiple masses. We measure it as a force. Gravimeters work. I've seen
Gravimeters work, yes.
in labs before and out in service before.
Yes,
They
and
work.
gravimeters work with relative density disequilibrium. Correct.
No.
Yeah. Is it in a vacuum?
No.
Are there things in a vacuum with a spring? With a tension? A
Of
gravimeter?
course.
Yeah. And
And
you
they're
don't
measuring either the acceleration of an object.
through a vacuum.
Okay.
Yeah. And
It
gravity
still
is
has
not a
nothing
force.
to do with the density of any fluid.
You took the fluid away that surrounds it. It's in a vacuum. There's hardly
Right.
any molecules bouncing around in that vacuum.
Okay, then in that case, it's the only thing that could be is the object's density.
Exactly.
Density is not a force.
No, density itself's not a force. It's the
Right.
ratio that the dense object has to the medium that surrounds it, which gives the rise to a force. It's a fictitious
Okay,
force.
what's the ratio of something to zero?
What do you mean ratio of something to zero?
Well, you said it's a ratio.
It's got a
of
higher
an
density.
object
The
density
ratio's
to the medium's density.
yeah, it's
If
got
you
a
put-
higher
if
ratio.
You call it a ratio of the object's density to the medium's density, then the medium's density is on the bottom of that fraction.
Yeah, you
Okay,
try
if
and
the
you try and
medium's
explain.
density is zero. That's division by zero.
Yeah, you try and explain specific gravity at the moment.
Okay.
Yeah, that's specific gravity.
You know what specific gravity is?
Yes, it's relative density
Relative to what?
relative to the medium. Because
Specific
you're
gravity
giving
is-
you're just giving it a ratio of ones and zeros, so you know which direction it goes. That's what specific gravity is about.
Okay. Then in the other, if it's not division by zero, then it's zero. If you flip it over, it's zero.
Yeah, but I'm saying you are pushing specific gravity onto relative density disequilibrium. There's a difference between the two.
I know that.
Yeah, because the belief system on specific gravity is it's got a force pulling it down, and we've been through this now. It's been 108 years already that gravity is not seen as a force. And even now, they're trying to push it as quantum, which is going to push gravity as pseudo-Riemannian space bending as false as well.
The specific gravity of an object is the density of that object divided by the density of water.
Yes, relative to the medium. So the density of the water. Water, yes.
Right.
And take the water away.
Water.
Yeah, because it's
It
relative
doesn't
to the
have
medium.
to be in water. It's not about being in
The
water.
ratio was to water. That's the reference. That's the datum they gave to it.
Right.
Yeah. So?
Just like Mach number is the speed of something relative to the local speed of sound.
Exactly. But you misunderstanding that object, because you is relative to its motion relative to the medium around it, if you making that medium around it denser than the object, it will float. So in other words, it will support it.
Of course.
And if you make it less dense or take it away, it won't support it, so therefore it won't displace it and it will go down.
Of course. But that's
Right.
due to the difference between the gravitational force and the buoyant force.
Again, there's no gravitational force. There's no such thing as gravity
Yeah,
as
there
a
is.
force. You can calculate Newtonian gravity as a force for practical purposes, but it doesn't make it a force. That's my whole point. You can calculate it that way. I agree 100%. We do measure an acceleration to the ground. No one's denying that. I totally concede there is potential energy. The one thing I do not agree with is that it's due to gravitational pull. Even based on, like we said, on the physics of today, because of general relativity, there is no force. It is simply due to the mechanics of the support of the ratio between the medium and the object. That's what I'm trying to tell you.
Okay, here's something about potential. I'm glad you mentioned potential energy. We're getting there.
Mm-hmm.
Potential energy. The way to increase potential energy
Is distance.
is to move it upstream against a force applied to it.
Great.
So when I take an object and I raise it from my floor to my table,
Mm-hmm.
I'm increasing its gravitational potential energy.
I don't think you're
Potential
listening to what I'm
energy
saying.
is mg times h. If I knock the ball or the object or whatever it is off of the table, at the very instant before it hits the floor, okay, its kinetic energy is the same as its original potential energy and is equal to 1/2 times its mass times its velocity squared.
Yeah, I agree 100%. The only part I don't agree with, like you're ignoring, is it's not gravitational potential energy.
Well,
I don't agree it's something being forced to pull it down. You would agree because you're increasing the distance, you have more potential for it to accelerate. Not because of gravitational pull, but because
And
you
only
got
get
a
that
further.
by having a force.
Again, it's a force that is created by the object being denser than the medium around it, because it cannot support it. As soon as something has magnitude, it's accelerating, correct?
As soon as what now?
As something has magnitude, it's moving, it's accelerating.
As something has magnitude.
Yeah. The object has magnitude, it's moving. It has magnitude through the medium. It's
You mean
accelerating.
its velocity has magnitude?
Yes.
Okay.
Would you agree that because I picked it up, how can I put this? Put energy into the system? I gave it potential to be further away from its equilibrium point. Okay? So as soon as I let it go and it's in a medium that cannot support it, it will accelerate through there. But if I, let's say, picked up that same object and I stuck it in, let's say, Mercury, it's going to float. Would you agree it still has the same potential to the equilibrium point, but it's not going anywhere because the medium is supporting it?
Wait a minute. You're saying if it's floating?
Let's say
if it's floating, that's its reference. It's at its reference point there. That's its lowest. That's as low as it goes.
Then let's just take it this way. Okay, I'm going to try and draw this on paint. Can you see paint right now?
Okay.
I'm going to try and see if I can draw it quickly. Okay. We got the ground right here. But I'm glad you came on. This is really awesome discussion, by the way. We're going to pick up a golf ball. Well, a bowling ball in this case. Let's pick up a bowling ball. It doesn't matter. And we're going to have them at exactly the same distances from the ground where we picked it up. So you would agree they got the same potential energy?
Sure.
Okay. Now, on this side, we're going to have a fish tank filled with mercury. Let's make it gray. Okay, so we've got a fish tank filled with mercury now. Now, when we drop these balls, you would agree this ball will only accelerate till this point.
Sure, because something's in the way.
Great, and this one will accelerate all the way to the ground.
Of course.
Which would mean it would have accelerated more than that ball.
Of course.
Great. So, while this ball is sitting here, would you agree it still has potential energy away from the ground?
Relative to the ground, of course.
Great.
It's just as if you dropped it onto a table. That
Yep.
fish tank with mercury in it could have been a table.
Great, yeah, but like I'm saying, so what did we see now with the mercury? It's supporting the ball, correct?
Sure, just like a table would be.
Yeah, and the air around it's not supporting the ball.
Okay.
So what did we change here to make it either accelerate or not accelerate?
You put something in the way.
Exactly. The medium supported the object, or was, yeah, the medium did not support the object. So the force was the object forcing itself through the medium. This is why I say gravitational acceleration is just a hijack.
Objects don't force themselves.
Yeah, because nothing can support it. It's a fictitious force.
Support itself again. Support itself against what?
Against
Your fish-
nothing.
so
There's
you're- what
nothing
you're-
here. There's nothing here for being able to support. There's just gas here. There's just
course.
gas around it. And the
Right.
gas can't hold the bowling ball up. But here,
Right.
you got a medium that can hold the bowling ball up. So what do you change? You change the medium. So the density of the density ratio of the bowling ball to the medium is what determines what the acceleration is. So it's density disequilibrium, not gravitational acceleration.
No.
Yes.
No. You've simply dropped a ball onto another object. It's just as if you had your two bowling balls 4 feet off of the floor, okay, and under one of them you had a table 3 feet tall.
Mm-hmm. Which
One ball
supports it.
falls 4 feet to the floor, the other one falls a foot to the table.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, now its potential energy relative to the floor is its mass times g times the 3 foot height of the table.
The distance is always the point, but I'm saying that g is wrong. There shouldn't be a g because that's based on you're begging the question of an of a force, and gravity is not a force, so you can't actually count it as a force. But we do know that when we can do science, in other words, we can do this scientifically. We can write a hypothesis.
Yeah, I've done lots of science.
Great. So we can write a hypothesis with this, and we will conduct an experiment, and we would be able to validate changing the medium. Okay, would change the effect. So what causes the acceleration then? The medium causes the acceleration. So if the medium cannot support the object, it accelerates. If it can support it, it can't accelerate. This is why I call it pressure. This is why I call it pressure mediation.
The medium is not what's making it move.
Oh, really? Okay. So what
A
happens
medium,
in a river?
like you said, if it supports an object, if it is dense enough, okay, if it is more dense than the object, then the force of buoyancy applied to the object is greater than the weight of the object. everything
displacement.
has a buoyant force. I spent a couple of years doing undersea systems design work. Okay, we had to design components with a wet weight and a dry weight in seawater.
Mm-hmm.
If you go out enough decimal places, you can have a block of iron sitting on your table. Okay, if you set that block of iron on a scale that measures out to enough decimal places, the weight seen by that scale will be different in air than in a vacuum, just like different in water.
Making my point.
In the case of air versus a vacuum, you have to go out of quite a few decimal places to see a difference, but there is a very minute buoyant force there.
You see, that's making my point. It's the medium dependent. What was the manipulated variable there? The medium, correct? The medium was the manipulated variable.
Oh, you mean to get a different
reading?
To get a different measured weight?
Yeah.
Felt weight?
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, exactly. So that's my whole point.
Because there's two forces. One force is up, the other force is down.
Yeah, because that's
the vector sum of those two forces. If it's perfectly neutrally buoyant, then the vector sum of those two forces is zero.
Cool. Then I'm going to ask you again.
Take something like a mylar balloon, fill it with helium. Okay, it has its buoyant force upward is greater than its own weight, so it rises.
Great. So this is why I'm going to talk to pressure now. What is the pressure equation?
What do you mean, what is the pressure equation?
Yeah, what's the equation for pressure?
Well, a force divided by area.
Great. Okay. So we got the force divided by area now. Now you can see the two tacks on screen now. We got a tack facing downwards and a tack with the large thumb part facing down. Which one's going to have greater pressure?
Against the horizontal surface you've drawn?
Yeah, against
the one pointing down, obviously. If they both got the same weight, okay, then the one on the left pointing down has greater pressure between it and the
surface.
The contact area of the surface.
Right? Why? Because it's surface area, so it's the amount of displacement.
Sure.
Great. And you would agree that pressure means it's a force applied to the surface.
Okay.
Correct. So it would take less force. Okay, this tack would take less force to penetrate the surface than it will for this tack to penetrate the surface.
Oh, of course.
Great. So that's why I'm saying, you're saying how can an object have a force? That's how object has force. It's simply the displacement to its area. So this bowling ball...
What do you mean it's displacement to its area?
Pressure. It's pressure's displacement. It's the same how ships float, Archimedes principle, like I've been explaining the whole time. So that bowling ball around here, it displaces its weight, you could say, which is actually measured because of the pressure it has on a scale. That's its unit measure, because when you take a scale, you actually just have the object having pressure on the scale. So yes.
Well, you're measuring the force, not the pressure.
Great.
It doesn't know how much area. It's if you weigh 150 pounds, okay, and you put another object that's 150 pounds on the scale that has less surface area than, say, the surface area of the bottoms of your feet, the scale doesn't know that. It only knows that it sees 150 pounds.
Yes, pounds per square inch. Congratulations.
It's not pounds per square inch, it's
PSI.
pounds.
Well, when we're working with gas, it's PSI.
Okay.
Okay.
Pressure of a gas.
Okay, but let's work with newtons.
PSI,
We can work with newtons, it's fine. You can still do pascals and newtons as well.
Okay.
I was explaining this to Leslie Raw as well. But the thing is, if you place this bowling ball on a scale, it has a pressure on that scale. So it's forcing on the scale. You would agree with that? Because pressure requires a force.
Okay.
Yeah. So we know that scale is now supporting the bowling ball. So the bowling ball has a force applied on the scale, just as the scale has a buoyant force pushing back on it, like you said, because it's a solid object, obviously.
You mean the ball?
The scale on the ball. It's
scale has
pushing
a
back.
buoy-
The scale is pushing back on the ball as the ball is pushing on the scale. It's
Right.
pressure. So it's got a force from both ways. Correct.
Yeah, the scale
Great.
is sitting on the floor. The scale's attached to the floor. All right.
Great, but
Ball has
that's my
the
point.
sum of the, or excuse me, all of the. If you draw a free body diagram of the ball, the forces applied to the ball then are the ball's weight, the buoyant force caused by the air, and the reaction force of the scale. Those are the forces applied to the ball.
Great, but you would
What
agree.
the scale reads is the reaction force.
Yeah, the reaction force. So you agree the scale has also got a force applied to the ball.
Yeah, the scale
Great.
applies a force
So-
to the ball.
So which way is your gravitational belief pull? Downwards, correct?
Right,
And that force of the scale is going upwards.
of course.
Great. So we can then conclude then that the support of the object can cause a fictitious force to arise.
The force of the
It's a fictitious force, in other words. It can cause a force. It can cause the mass to accelerate simply because you require something to support it, in other words. Because just as it can create a force on something, that something supporting it also has a force on it.
okay. I
Yeah,
think I see what you.
exactly.
Getting that?
Yeah, because just as the ball is forcing itself on the scale down, that scale is forcing itself upwards to support the bowling ball. So now take that scale and just turn it into gas. You would understand that it cannot no longer support that bowling ball, so that the ball has to accelerate through the ball, through the gas.
Okay.
So there's your force, not gravity, just simply the ratio based on the density differences of the object to the medium.
Which doesn't happen which can't happen without gravity. Whether you call it
Gravity is nowhere to be seen there. We just explained it without gravity. There was no gravity
no,
needed
you
there.
didn't explain it without gravity.
Show me
No,
where I said
not at
gravity
all.
there. Show me where I said gravity there, please.
What?
Show me
I
where
didn't
I
say
explained.
you said it, but what you said doesn't happen without gravity.
No, you
Whether
placing
it's a
gravity in
force
there.
or whether it's the warpage of space time, they're equivalent. They're equivalent everywhere except for at insane velocities approaching that of the speed of light, or very close to a large object with an insane amount of mass, like a star.
Yeah, but like I'm saying, this is what I'm trying to explain, make you understand. You understand, we're understanding the same physics here. But the difference is, you are fundamentally brought up to think it's because you have a gravitational pull.
It has nothing to do with what I was fundamentally brought up to believe.
Did you study?
Okay,
Did you
I've
study
done
your engineering?
Real world experiments
Yeah,
in this shit.
yeah.
With real measurements, real equipment. Okay, I've taken real measurements, taken real and analyzed real data, complete with all kinds of uncertainty analysis, to levels of precision that would drive you guys crazy.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying.
I've done this.
Does that make it gravity? Could we just change that so-called G constant to unicorn farts and get exactly the same outcome?
Unicorn farts.
Yeah, we just change the G and we call it unicorn farts. Will we get exactly the same outcome?
But it's not unicorn farts, it's acceleration due to gravity.
I'm asking you, if we change it to unicorn farts, will we get exactly the same outcome?
Well, That makes no sense.
It does make sense, because I'm trying to explain to you, taking what we can observe in reality, and because you have a belief it's gravity, therefore it's gravity. That's just circular reasoning.
I don't have a belief it's gravity. I know it's gravity.
Okay, please go and give me a scientific hypothesis for gravity and experimentation, please. Then we can show that it's not gravity.
A scientific hypothesis for gravity.
Yes.
What exactly do you mean by a scientific hypothesis for gravity?
I'm trying to show you that scientifically gravity doesn't exist.
Well, you can't show me that it doesn't exist, because it simply does.
That is reversing the burden of proof onto me. That you made the positive claim gravity exists. So now I'm going to say...
It's not my claim, okay? It's been claimed for how many centuries now?
You just made a claim that it is gravity. You know it's gravity, so yes, it's your claim.
It's not my claim.
So you then say, okay, it's not gravity then.
Regardless, what kind of hypothesis would you like?
A scientific
hypothesis,
one. The cause and effect. What is gravity?
What is gravity is the attraction between two masses conforming to the law of universal gravitation. F equals big G times big M times little m divided by the distance between them squared.
And you can provide a scientific hypothesis and experiment to validate this.
Well, let's see. There's Cavendish did it in 1891.
Cavendish is not experiment. And it's just based on... I'm so happy you brought Cavendish up. Because you're an engineer, you would understand that it's just torsion twist due to torque, correct?
Yeah, I know exactly what torsion and torque are.
Great. So it's not
gravity. And the wire
has
a spring constant just like a linear spring would.
So you would agree with me that it's not gravity then, it's measuring torque. The oscillation based on the torsion is measured on torque. And it's not an experimentation, because it's a demonstration where Cavendish tried to calculate or measure the Earth's density.
Sure, and he had to do that by measuring capital G, the universal gravitation constant.
So that's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
so then it's not science proving gravity then. So can you give me a hypothesis for gravity? How do you have your big G without having a scientific hypothesis and experiment to prove big G?
Well, for using Cavendish, for example, okay, the hypothesis is that the closer the two masses, or the large mass and the small mass, are brought together, the greater the force of attraction between the two objects.
But that's not proving big G though. You said it's based on big G. So obviously big G first had to be proven before you can make that step, that deduction that Cavendish is using big G to make attraction of masses.
He's not using big G. He didn't know what big G was. He determined big G.
No, he tried to determine Earth's density.
He used big G to determine the density, which he did.
So how did he get big G then?
He used his apparatus to measure it.
He uses his apparatus to measure torque vectoring.
To measure torque. And the torque is dependent upon the force between the two balls.
Great. And just like I said,
it's a linear relationship.
Yeah,
I know what a torsion spring is.
Yeah, just like my hypothesis showing with the relative density disequilibrium, I say that the object has a fictitious force which arises due to its density ratio to the medium, which I can scientifically show. I can scientifically validate this. You even explained it using gravimeters. So yes, I can show its relative density disequilibrium. The difference is you are making a claim that it's gravitational acceleration, which is unfounded and baseless. It's just you guys calling everyday observations. No. Then show me the scientific hypothesis and experiment for this proof.
Okay, give me a sec here.
Oh, by the way, hi Blind Spot, how's it going?
Good. Did I walk into a debate here? This
Sort
is
of, yeah.
interesting.
David's awesome, actually.
Well, hello.
Awesome conversation.
David Lee, is it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Your last name isn't Roth, is it? Just
No, not once I cut all that hair off.
Well, it's good to meet you, sir. Appreciate you being here.
I didn't even see you in here, Blind Spot. I was talking to you in the chat, and I didn't even see you in here.
No worries. You're the blind one.
Good man.
Well, I've taken up tons of your time already. If you guys want to go on something else, go ahead. I'll try to look this. I'll find
All I know
exactly
is
what you're asking for.
no stress. All I know is it's 12:20 in the night, so I don't think we can go on much longer. Tomorrow night I'm going to be debating Aaron Armstrong, so that's going to be exciting. David, if you actually want to sometime come and chat again, it's awesome. Even just have a debate if you want to. It's really
Yeah, I'd love to.
yeah.
Why don't we do that? And I'll get some info together that maybe I can show you that may help me articulate what I'm trying to say a little better.
Yeah, and
and if I could, I'm sorry.
Not to say, I really enjoy chatting with you. It's much better chatting like this than in chat. It's so different.
It is. Yes, this is much better than typing back and forth, because when we're just typing,
Things get lost in translation.
you don't get we treat it, and it's not just in this. It's everything. People treat each other completely differently with text than in person. So
you can't convey your proper meaning sometimes in text.
Yeah.
But I really do appreciate you coming in.
Yeah. Well, thanks for having me. I'd love to come back.
Anytime.
Like I said, I'll get some stuff together and come back as soon as I can. I got to scram now and go get some dinner.
Okay.
And you got to get some sleep. So
yeah. But thanks, David. Yeah. No, it's really cool.
Okay. Alrighty, guys. Well, I'll go ahead and take off then. Okay, and hopefully we'll see you another time.
Awesome. Yeah. Cheers, David.
Bless you, man.
Okay. Cheers. All right. Take care, guys.
Cheers,
Bye-bye.
mate. Oh yeah, guys. Wow, that was actually an interesting conversation.
Yeah, it was good.
See, now that's what I like. A nice, knowledgeable conversation without people ad-homing each other and talking over each other the whole time.
Exactly.
Obviously, we don't agree. We're talking the same physics. The only difference is he believes it to be a gravitational pull, which I'm on. You see, that's where it comes. Where I'm trying to explain. When they go and they do their educational degrees, they are taught to have the mindset that it is gravitational.
Yeah.
Me, I've taken that and I've decided, listen, I'm not going to say it's gravitational. I'm going to say, let's take it to the most basic steps and see what is the cause. And simply based on experimentation, we can see the cause is changing the medium and the densities. It's got nothing to do with gravity. So that's how I say we see it in two different things. We see the same, how can I say, effect happening in reality, the acceleration, but he sees it as gravitational.
And that's why it was interesting when he didn't catch on really. He thought it was nonsensical when he said, well, why don't we just call it unicorn farts, essentially, right? Wouldn't we get the same result? Because at the end of the day, it is just a co-opted term, right? That has everyone programmed to believe that's what it is, but no one knows what it is, right? As per Neil deGrasse Tyson, what's gravity? We don't know. Next question, right? So yeah, it's interesting.
So yeah, that I found really weird. But I mean that's a norm. But I do really applaud him for coming on and having a very good conversation.
Absolutely.
So we did start off with Mctoon and and Jaren, but that faded off quickly, and I'm actually happy at it because it was just triggering me more than what it was doing good.
I kind of thought it would. I've had it on all day. Like I say, I had to fall asleep in bed with it.
So yeah, sorry that you had to come in so late, Blind Spot.
Yeah, no, I think I'll probably go back and watch the replay.
It's going to be worth it.
Out for dinner with my family that's visiting, so. But yeah, it sounds like I missed a good episode. That's unfortunate. It sounds like you guys had a lot of good chat, so I'll go back and listen to it.
No,
and I don't know this whole. Jaren and Mctoon thing. I guess they did a second video. Is that what happened, or?
Yeah, they got a second. This morning or something, he was back on there, and they were talking some celestial navigation. So you might want to watch it. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, guys,
I'm curious.
I want to say thank you to Skeptic for your super chat earlier. I couldn't shout it out, unfortunately. Sorry. But really appreciate the support, mate. It's really, really awesome. You rock. Thank you very much, Godzilla, as well, for your super chat, and Brianna Johnson for your message for being a member for 4 months. Thank you very, very much. So yeah, I had to shout that out now. But you guys all rock. If you haven't already, please hit the share and the like button. Really, really does help. You guys have no idea how much it helps. But thanks again. So any closing statements before we close off?
I mean, it just seemed like the Jaren and Mctoon thing, they seem pretty much on the same page, to be honest. But
Yikes.
the conversation with the David was pretty interesting, to be honest. It'd be good to have a little debate with him. He seemed
What
like
kind of an engineer is David? Did he mention?
Mechanical engineer.
mechanical, yeah.
Okay, yeah, that's what my dad does.
So yeah, he seems knowledgeable. It'd be nice to have a debate with him and see how it goes. Definitely.
Yeah. Hopefully on gas pressure with containment. Well, he did already concede it does need containment, but that's why we moved on to gravity, because he knows you need containment. So that's a start.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. No, thank you, Skeptic, for the support. We really, really appreciate it, Matt. You really do help a lot. But yeah, I really do enjoy these chats with these kind of knowledgeable people, because a lot of the anti-flat earthers we get, what do you think would have happened if I had to talk to someone like Mctoon or Conspiracy Cats or something? We wouldn't have even got
just be
to
a shouting match, or
they would just
handwave
add,
dismissals.
they would just ad hom me and just talk over me the whole time, and we wouldn't get anywhere.
It's like if that aid had actually got in, I reckon it would have been an ad hom thing, sort of thing. You know what I mean? But because he was saying it from the start, you chickened out for me. You don't even know the dude.
So yeah, like I said, I would write. Yeah, where are you?
Celestial navigation, wasn't it? He was on about.
Yeah.
Was it? Yeah. Yeah, as if you're going to chicken out and celestial.
So he emailed me, and apparently I'm avoiding him. I get so many emails from so many people. Am I supposed to respond to every email?
Exactly.
I literally told him, come on now, talk. We can set up a time. Come. What the hell?
Yeah.
But
And then he just had home from then.
and started swearing and going crazy and
You and your minions and all that.
yeah. But yeah, that was an interesting conversation. Thanks, Dave, again.
Definitely was. He seems like a good guy.
Tight long. Ada couldn't make it. Yeah, after he called me out, yeah. Okay. But I think it's very plain and simple how celestial navigation works. And I'm definitely going to do a full stream on celestial navigation, guys, explaining it, how a sextant is even manufactured, probably, because I think we have to go through every single thing to make them understand it can only work based on the flat earth.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Of course.
So we ended up with the votes, 129 votes, guys. Jaren is an embarrassment to flat earth. 64% say yes. No, 36%. Very interesting that anybody actually said no, because I think it's an embarrassment. Anyway, thanks guys for coming. Really appreciate everything. I will see you guys all tomorrow night, but tomorrow night it's going to be a debate against Aaron. So remember, PJ, you're going to be moderating, so I'm going to be doing it on Restream.
Okay.
Because he doesn't have Element or whatever anymore. So, Faciality, thank you very much. $5 super chat. He says, I can't afford this. Sleep tight. Thank you very much for the super chat, Faciality. You rock. So, yeah, guys. Hey, Grigory, and you just came in while we're closing off. Sorry about that. So, I'll see you guys all tomorrow night for a debate between myself and Aaron Armstrong that we were supposed to have last week, but I got the dates wrong. Yeah, but I got the dates wrong.
Oh, you had the dates wrong? Okay.
Yeah.
I remember you said you didn't show, so.
Yeah.
I even changed the thumbnail and the title to I got the date wrong. So,
Nice,
yeah.
nice. Look at you, such an honest man. Love it, Flatzoid.
And then you get
guys
people-
have a great weekend. Yeah.
And then you get
Go
people
ahead.
like Triggered Limey that says flat earthers don't say when they're wrong.
I've always
Weird.
seen Flatzoid correcting his mistakes. When he's wrong, he'll come back. Even a show later,
I've been wrong on a few things, guys, and I've conceded to it because I am definitely not perfect. People get things wrong.
Amen.
So
Sure.
yeah.
Yep.
Thanks, guys, all for coming. I'll see you guys all again tomorrow night, and please do share the show tomorrow because I think it's going to be epic. And hit the likes. Cheerio, guys. Many, many blessings. May the
Cheers.
pressure be
Take
with
care.
you. Take care.